Mike Missanelli Show on the air. Today we'll move into more Philadelphia Eagles issues. We got it all out of our system yesterday with the 76ers. On a day when we're actually giving away what could be a really good prize that involves the 76ers. Today is General Knowledge Wednesday, and so as we talk about the issues, we love to correspond with our listeners and viewers on our YouTube chat board and our text board about the state of the Philadelphia Eagles, because we had the coach speak and we had the general manager speak, and I thought that what Howie Roseman said was most interesting about how he's planning to rebuild this team. And Bill and Ray, who's back with us after a long road trip, he said that he wants the fans to have a little patience, that that the fans usually want everything at once, that's not the way you rebuild. And even when you go through the draft and free agency period, there's still trading situations that could make the Eagles look differently later down the road. But he's asking the fans to have patience. Now, there are two things that come up here. One, I think he's paving the way to be looked at favorably. And he doesn't really want the pressure to build on his off season. So he's keeping the fan base at bay a little bit, which I think I don't know how I feel about that. But secondly, he is saying that we got some work to do. And I guess that means that he knows that he's going to lose some players. So when and we'll play what Howie had to say, but read the quote first of all, that he had a meeting with reporters before the actual presser, and so the beat writers got a chance to talk to him. Zach Berman tweeted this line out. Go ahead, tell me what that line is, Bill.
Yeah, you're right. Before he met with everybody, he talked to the beat reporters, and this is it. This is the quote from Howie Roseman. It may look different. Some of the moves that we may have to make here may not be what are necessarily on other people's minds. It's probably not going to look like maybe the conventional wisdom thinks it should look. I would just ask our fans to just have patience throughout the offseason. The offseason doesn't stop in free agency. The offseason doesn't stop in the draft. Close quote by our man Howie Roseman.
He's got the fan base in a euphoric state right now, let's face it. So I don't think he needed to say that. I think the fans have enough trust in him that he's do the right thing to keep this team above the top of the NFL. So, I don't know, I was a little passive-aggressive there. But I don't know. There's been some changes already, and Sirianni talked about Patullo, and Howie was asked about the acquisition of the big free agent Myles Garrett, and he kind of sidestepped it while saying that we're always interested in great players, the whole bit. But I thought Sirianni, your buddy, defending Kevin Patullo is really interesting. And here's the quote: "There is not one decision that I have ever made in the building without Kevin Patullo." And really, as you look at last year, particularly last 4 years, there is not a decision that the coordinator who's in place didn't make without Kevin Patullo as well. So he's saying, Kellen Moore, guess what? You're a product of Kevin Patullo. I've been with him. Obviously, I trust it, and I've seen him grow as a coach from the moment I have been around him. What do you make of that, Bill?
They're clearly high on this guy. Now, Sirianni was also asked.
The head coach is high on this guy.
Well, and they were asked, did you interview anybody else? And Sirianni says, yeah, we did extensive interviews. Now, I don't know who they interviewed. They haven't revealed who else that they've interviewed. But it sounds like this was the guy who was at the top of the list. And I'm assuming they were all on board, because Sirianni also went on to talk about how this was important for continuity. And he mentions Jalen Hurts specifically. This was important for Jalen Hurts. And then he goes through some of the other players and the offensive line and all that. But clearly they felt this was the best decision to keep things as close to what they were last year as possible. Because we keep hearing, 10 different play callers in the last 9 years for Hurts. Maybe this was a way where you have a little bit of continuity. His best season ever, Jalen Hurts' best season, he had Shane Steichen both years. So I know this isn't the same guy as Kellen Moore, but maybe you get that similar feel, and it could help him out.
In general, I am clearly more cynical than you when it comes to
yes, you are
the football team. So I will say this. I believe, and I said it from the start, and I still believe it, that the organization threw Nick Sirianni a bone, that this was his choice from the jump, and they said, why not? Why the hell not? The guy just won a Super Bowl. Why the hell not? I don't think that this would have been the choice of Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie if everything was even. But I think that Sirianni got some points, and they allowed him to make this kind of a move. Because he has done nothing but trumpet this guy and say how wonderful he is and say how they're tied at the hip. And there is no way at that point, after a guy that won the Super Bowl is saying that about this assistant coach, that they were going to say, nah, we know better. But when they go home at night, they call each other and go, we know better, but we got to give him this one.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree with you on is when you say we know better, just because when you go to the Super Bowl, you're so behind in the process. And Roseman talked a little bit about that, how things just are sped up a little bit because the Combine is here now. I mean, they're down in Indianapolis already, so I don't know what better options there would have been out there. We've talked about this before, where you can block lateral moves, so they weren't going to be able to necessarily go and get an offensive coordinator from another team. So you would have been trying to find a quarterback's coach, and I just think they looked at it and said, this guy's better than any risk we would take on somebody else. But see, the more concerning thing with the Roseman comments that we started with is what I think Roseman's doing is he's preparing the fan base that it's going to be more like the offseason you saw after they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago than what you saw last year. Because last year, on day one, Mike, they signed Saquon, they signed Bryce Huff, they signed Zach Bond, they signed Chauncey Gardner-Johnson the day after free agency kicked off. They signed Devin White, even though it didn't work out. But you go back to 2 years ago, they really didn't sign anybody. What happened was they lost T.J. Edwards. They lost Kazir White. They lost Marcus Epps. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
So I think he's preparing the fan bases. It's not going to look like last year, but be patient with us. Because in Roseman's defense, they didn't sign Mekhi Becton until after the draft. When they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson the first time around a few years ago, they didn't sign him until August. When they got James Bradbury when he had that all-pro season, they didn't sign him until June. So I understand what Roseman's saying. Hey, don't expect us to spend big right away, but be patient. And Roseman's right. Some of his best moves have come way after free agency kicks off.
Yeah, but I do believe he's prepping the fan base that they're going to lose some important people. But hang in there with me. In other words, stay off me. Like, I'll be okay. We'll be okay, but because if they weren't going to lose significant people, I don't think he would have said anything like that.
Well, I think it's a guarantee when we let's look at the major free agents of Mekhi Becton offensively, and then you got Bond, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Zach Bond. So those four guys, right? Those are the four big ones. Sweat, Williams, Bond, Mekhi Becton. There's no way they're keeping all four. Right? I mean, so I think we all agree they can't keep all four. Can they keep two of them? Maybe. Can they keep three? I think that would be a stretch. That would be an ideal situation if you could keep Bond, Williams, and Becton, in my opinion. But you're going to lose at least one of those big names.
I got to be honest with you. I think he set himself up where he has to now pay Bond because he said just because we haven't paid a position in the past doesn't mean we never will. People are going to use that statement against him like an axe.
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. If Bond flies the coop, just because we haven't paid a position in the past doesn't mean we never will. Well, how come you didn't do that this time?
Yeah, I am more, as the time goes by, I am more and more convinced that Zach Bond will definitely be here. Like,
okay.
I can't see them letting him walk.
All right, I'm just saying, when you make a statement like that, you better sign him. All right, it is General Knowledge Wednesday today. Ray is back with us. Hey, Ray!
Hey, I'm here.
Did you win last week? Did you win? I can't remember.
Yes.
You did win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember we did a 2-dayer and we really
I jumped out to the early lead. You tried to give Bill a couple questions because the audience really was struggling. And
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, anyway, this is a very, very user-friendly General Knowledge today. And the prize is...
Great prize.
Listen, if you could forget about how we went off on the Sixers yesterday, which you probably can't because you're probably feeling the same way, they still have some interesting games where you can see the opponent. A good opponent is worth going down.
No doubt about it. And this is a great
Warriors, a hot Warrior team now with Jimmy Butler back in the house and the great Steph. I just finished that 4-part series, the gold medal thing that
very well
Netflix
done.
did. And Steph Curry comes out really excellent in it. And so the legend of Steph Curry will be here on March the 1st. So the prize today is 2 tickets to that game.
It's a Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken. Saturday, and I'm looking on the websites right now. You can't get a ticket for under $70.
No, it's a pretty hot ticket. So we have them for you, and all you got to do is answer a general knowledge question correctly, and you qualify for the general knowledge prize if also you beat Ray Dunn. So our subjects today will be your basic general knowledge question, and then it'll be TV and movie characters, and then NBA three-point contest winners.
Oh, Ray's going to be on fire.
You think so? We'll see. Because I got to go deep with this.
Ray Allen?
Not the ones you're going to remember from last year or the year before. I got to go deep. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. It is 97.5 The Fanatic, and we're back after this.
Tyrone Johnson.
Nick Sirianni clearly had the guys on the razor's edge.
7:15, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. One of the major things that has been a football topic, not only here but elsewhere, is this tush-push situation where the Green Bay Packers put out a challenge that tush-push should be banned. A lot of people here have gotten panties in a bunch, including Bill, because you love that tush-push play. And it's been very successful for the Eagles. So I can't sit here and say it doesn't benefit the Eagles. But from the jump, I haven't liked the play. So I know I'm going to take heat for that. I'm anti-tush-push. I don't think it's a football play. But Dick Sirianni obviously was asked about it yesterday. And he addressed it. And what I want to do here is listen to Nick, and then we'll go around the league. Because Sean McDermott, he's Philadelphia born and bred. You might look at him as a rat for being anti-tush-push.
He's a hypocrite is what he is.
And Todd Bowles is pro-tush-push, and Raheem Morris is anti-tush-push. So we have all these varied opinions out there on this tush-push. But let's start with the head coach of the Eagles, who start talking about the discourse around the tush-push. There's Nick Sirianni too, Ray.
We work really, really hard, and our guys are talented at this play. It's a little insulting to say it's just we're good at it, so it's automatic. We work really hard at it, and you see it throughout the league. I mean, we saw it in the championship games that a team failed at it and ultimately didn't end up winning the game because of it. Every week, I watch every first and goal red zone fail every single time. And sometimes that first and goal starts at the 1, and you see the team not be able to get in because they're not able to do that. And so I think that it's a skill that our team has because of the players that we have, the way the coaches coach it. There's just so much time put into it. The fact that it's a successful play for the Eagles and people want to take that away, I think is a little unfair.
All right. I would say the same thing if I were the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. And then he talks about the narrative that this tush-push can cause injuries, which I really haven't seen many injuries that come from a tush-push. So maybe that's overrated, but he addressed that as well.
I think when you look at that, because we've looked into that too, there wasn't a lot of injuries there. I think that's a little made up, to be honest. Now the numbers will tell the truth, but I don't think there was many injuries with it this year. I can't remember one injury we had on that play. And we ran it more than everybody else. And I'm all for player safety and for that. But I don't think that play, I think that's just something that was said, but I don't think the numbers on that play suggest that. But you guys can look into that.
Yeah, the league has looked into it, and the league says they don't have enough data to come up with any declarative trend on whether it causes injuries or not. So listen, Nick Sirianni is right. If you work on it enough, you're going to be able to do it. The other teams obviously don't work on it maybe as much as the Philadelphia Eagles do. But that doesn't make it a good play. Because if teams worked on it as far as the Eagles, why wouldn't it work for every team? So if it works for every team, then you can't stop it. And if you can't stop it, it's not really a football play because it gives an unfair advantage to the people who really work on it and do it well because of the weight distribution. It's just really simple math.
You lost me there. That makes no sense to me.
It does make sense.
So because the Eagles work on it and it's effective, they shouldn't be able to run it. That doesn't make any sense. You just said, because the people who work on it.
I didn't say they should. Right now, they can run it all they want. I'm saying it's not a good football. It's an unfair football play, and I don't like unfair football play.
Why is it unfair?
It's unfair because you're piling weight behind a guy, and it gives you more momentum on that side of the football than the momentum you need to stop it. You can't stop it if it's run right.
Who's a bigger quarterback, Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
Josh Allen's a bigger quarterback.
All right. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills ran it 4 times in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. They were 0 for 4.
Okay, well, they don't run it as well as the Eagles.
So then why should the Eagles be punished?
Because you'll keep looking at why should the Eagles be punished instead of the actual football play.
But you're saying it's unstoppable.
It's not a football play.
How is it not a football play? No one has been able to explain that to me.
You weren't allowed to do it before, which meant the league says it's not a football play. And all of a sudden they let you do it.
That argument.
At one point, it wasn't a football play.
But that argument doesn't hold water because I said facetiously yesterday, should they outlaw the forward pass? You can't say because it was outlawed years ago that it should no longer be allowed now.
It's idiotic to say they would outlaw the forward pass. That's not a good analogy. It's a terrible argument.
I don't understand.
They didn't permit it before because they thought it was an unfair advantage. A forward pass is not an unfair advantage.
The reason that it was outlawed before, I don't think is because they thought it was an unfair advantage.
Well, why was it then?
I don't know why they didn't allow you to push players forward.
Because it wasn't a football play. It's odd to help your guy when you overmatch the other team.
The prior rule wasn't specifically in place to legislate against this type of play. It was in there to prevent anyone from pushing a teammate forward. So it wasn't just about this.
Well, what are you doing? You're pushing a teammate forward with this play. It's the same rationale.
I just don't understand when people say, and you've said this a lot, and I've seen this a lot coming from people, it's not a football play.
It's not.
Well, what's a football play?
A football play is straight on football, okay?
And how is this not? It's man on man.
Block a guy, man on man. That's what football is. Put a hat on a guy, not put like a forklift behind a guy.
It is man on man when you have your center going up against the defensive tackle. You got your guards going up against the D tackles.
You got the linebackers. Pounds of moving forward when you know what the snap is to start you momentum with 700 pounds of torque before the other team can react. That's what makes it unfair.
You sound soft. You do.
You see,
you sound soft.
You're going to bail out on your machismo.
No, because here's the thing.
Because you know that I'm right.
No, because you could do the same thing defensively. We talked about this. You could do the same thing defensively. The defensive tackles can line up right in front of the center. Yes, you can.
Because you don't know the snap count.
They never know the snap count.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
If you got the snap count, then you can start your 700-pound torque before the other team can react. And if you do that, there's no way the other team can stop it.
You could say the same thing about the QB sneak without the tush push. When the offensive line knows the snap count and the defensive line doesn't.
Is one man with one blocker in front of him going against it. It's not 700 pounds. How do you not see this? It's 700 pounds. It's like a truck behind you that you can't stop it. That doesn't make it a football play.
If Rob Thompson came up with it, you'd love it. Trying to get Mike worked up today, Ray.
See me laughing? 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks Patullo promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine. As the football world descends upon Indianapolis, we got a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman yesterday. Sirianni's availability opened with the question about the promotion of Kevin Patullo to offensive coordinator.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Lots of continuity. That's what Sirianni's looking for. NFL Combine running through next Monday as it leads up to April's NFL Draft. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, 76ers turned to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers won their third in a row, crushing the Penguins 6-1 last night. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow once again against those Penguins. Phillies won yesterday as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour in 2 scoreless innings, and Edmundo Sosa drove in 2 runs. As spring training continues today, Bryce Harper is in the lineup as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays at 1:07. This update is brought to you by Bank of America. Whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, Bank of America gives you access to business solutions to make every move better. Make every move matter, that is. What would you like the power to do? Find out at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, 10:29, Mike Missanelli Show. The tush push is a subject that people. Here's the thing. I know we love it because it works for the Eagles. I know that's like the main focus. Now, again, if people practice as hard as the Eagles and they perfect it as well as the Eagles, then the Eagles aren't going to be able to stop it either. In fact, are there many great examples of the Eagles stopping them? Teams usually don't do it. That's the reason why it's not stopped. They don't do it. They don't execute it like the Eagles do. They rather give the ball to the running back.
Yeah, they don't have the correct personnel, and they don't practice it as much as the Eagles do. But again, I just don't think that's a reason to outlaw play. If every single team, all 32 of them, could do it and it was 100% effective, then maybe you look at it and say, yeah, this is an unfair play. Even the Eagles aren't 100%. Right?
Well, that day's coming. That day's coming when everybody's going to do it. So
never. Matthew Stafford will probably never run it. There's certain quarterbacks that you will never have run that type of play. Jalen Hurts is a unique quarterback. There are quarterbacks like Jalen who can run it. One of them is Josh Allen, who went 0 for 4 in the AFC Championship game. So it's not an unstoppable play. I don't like the argument that it's not a football play. I think that it is. I think a football play is when you're – it's not as if – see, what I don't like when we talk about not football play – intentionally trying to trick the other team, which you're not allowed to do, where you have the confusion intentionally, or you got to try to sneak a guy that looks like he's really going off the field and he's not. That's why they got rid of the 12 men in the huddle, all those types of things. You're trying to intentionally trick a team. Remember what the Patriots were doing a few years ago where they kept coming in and out with different eligible receivers? That's trying to trick a team. That's not football. Well, this is football.
Well, let me ask you this then. Was it football when they allowed special team players covering a kick to create a rope type effect?
That was stopped because of player safety. There's a difference.
Wasn't unfair.
It's not that it was unfair.
It wasn't Red Rover, come over. It was unfair.
It was player safety. I mean, you're basically clotheslining guys. If they could show evidence that this caused more injuries than other types of plays, then I would understand wanting to get banned. There's no evidence to show that.
I don't know. I've never liked it, so it's not like I'm trying to be controversial here. I always thought, well, what is that? That play, it's odd. It's odd to allow something like that, where you got 700 pounds of torque pushing against a team that can't possibly stop it because the momentum is already started by the team with the 700-pound advantage.
See, I also think that the NFL will probably never come out and say it. I think they love that this play is still in. I think they love that the narrative all summer is about whether it should be outlawed, can it be stopped. I think people tune in when the Eagles play, whether they hate the play or they love the play, to see, are they going to run it? How are they going to try to stop it? I know what happened with the Commanders was embarrassing for the Commanders when the ref had to say, if this type of behavior continues, but all that stuff I think is actually good for the NFL in terms of public opinion and people wanting to tune in. It's something that people care to see. Even if you don't like the play, you're interested. When they line up to do it, oh, man, is anyone going to be able to stop this?
All right. Well, we'll talk about it. And also, I really want to get into the Patullo thing because, to me, this is a classic example of rewarding a guy with his friend. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to be a good coach. My eyeballs would be wide open. But I think the main motivation here is that this guy has been tied at the hip with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni really couldn't hire anybody else and look at that guy ever again. So it's like, okay, we'll allow you to promote your guy. I mean, that's the only thing that I wonder if they got the best guy, because the factors were you had to hire this guy. You had to reward your head coach who just won a Super Bowl with the guy he wanted. And he needs to promote this guy. He's been with him for a really long time. If he didn't promote him, then they would fracture that whole relationship. And that shouldn't be the main thrust of hiring.
I don't think that was the main thrust, though. I don't think that wasn't a factor.
I certainly think it was a factor.
I don't think it wasn't a factor that they wanted to give some credence to what Sirianni wanted, but I think they were also rewarding Kevin Patullo. I mean, this guy has been in the NFL for 15 years. He's been part of the Eagles organization for the last 4. So I think they were also rewarding Kevin Patullo, who's kind of earned his stripes.
Well, so what? He didn't earn his stripes before they hired Kellen Moore?
See,
this was the stripe earning year?
I think that last year, with the way the 2023 season ended, losing 6 of 7, and the offense looking stale, it made sense to go outside the organization and bring in what they called, quote-unquote, fresh ideas. That made a lot of sense. I actually was on board with them doing that again.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think if they had allowed Sirianni to get to the offensive coordinator, he may have also hired Kevin Patullo then?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible,
So
but
in other words, the decision was taken out of his hands.
Well,
now that the decision is back in his hands, which is my point.
Yeah.
The decision is back in his hands because now he's got the clout to make that decision.
it's possible. But Sirianni, now whether or not this was because Laurie and Roseman were in his ear or not 2 years ago, also said the same thing. We want to bring in some fresh ideas. And that's what they did with Kellen Moore. But I also think that it's not fair to say because Patullo wasn't promoted last year that he's not ready this year. I mean, people grow. There's a reason why head coaching candidates sometimes don't get hired last year, but they get hired this year. Kellen Moore being one of them. He didn't get any head coaching.
So do you think
jobs.
Kellen Moore would have taken Kevin Patullo with him?
Well, no, Doug Nussmeier's his guy.
Okay, so Patullo wasn't his guy.
No, Patullo was on the staff before he got here.
Sirianni says there's not a decision that the coordinator who's in place didn't make without Kevin Patullo as well.
Maybe Kellen Moore would have considered it, but I think it was probably understood. Look, they've known for a while Kellen Moore was leaving. I know we just find out after the Super Bowl. They've known Kellen Moore was leaving, and I'm sure they already had the plan in place. Hey, Kellen, we know you're going to take Doug. He's your buddy. He came with you from the Chargers. He came with you from the Cowboys to the Chargers. We're going to keep Kevin. And that's probably what the understanding
probably was the way it worked out. All right, we have a lot of texts on the tush push. Let me guess. People are for it. Right? What you got on the text for?
Yeah, people are very much for
Of
it.
course they are.
Let's see. Where's the one? Well, we got one calling you soft following the Bill Colarulo line here. Are you serious? Really? This is ridiculous. Show me one play where someone got hurt. To me, it's plain and simple. It's a strategy plan. What's the issue, Mike? There's an advantage.
Where did you ever hear me say that people are going to get hurt? That's not my rationale at all. My rationale is that the play is odd and it's not really within the spirit of football. That's my stance. I'm not talking about people getting hurt. It has nothing to do with me being soft. Let's take a break. So, we'll get more because I'm telling you, people are going to come at me with spears today.
It's tush push day.
With tridents. 610-632-0975. We're back after that.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitale.
Wednesday. We got a lot of calls on hold. We'll get to our general knowledge as that's a percolating subject, the tush push. So I want to get to the coaches. Now, this is the one where you called Sean McDermott a traitor.
He's a hypocrite.
McDermott, Philadelphia bred, trained under Jim Johnson, and a tough defensive coordinator. He doesn't like it. Let's hear what Sean McDermott had to say.
To me, there's always been an injury risk with that play, and I've expressed that opinion for the last couple of years or so when it really started to come into play. The way it's being used, especially a year ago, I just feel like players' safety and the health and safety of our players has to be at the top of our game, which it is. It's just that play to me has always been the way that the techniques that are used with that play to me have been potentially contrary to the health and safety of the players, and so again, you have to go back though in fairness to the injury data on the play. But I just think the optics of it, I'm not in love with.
Optics. So he's going to rely on the optics instead of the actual data of injuries, which is a faulty argument.
He's also a complete hypocrite because he's, number one, there's no evidence to show that injuries are more with this play than any other play, and secondly, they ran it the second most of any team in the entire National Football League behind the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you were so worried about the health of your players, then why were you putting Josh Allen and your offensive line at risk every single week?
That's a pretty good point by you.
That makes sense.
The other thing is he's got credibility because they do it. They do it successfully, and he's against it. All right, so now let's go to Raheem Morris.
This should have been illegal 3 years ago. No, the tush push play, I was never been a big fan. There's just no other play in our game where you can absolutely get behind somebody and push them, pull them off, do anything.
Yeah, see, that's my rationale. There's no other play where you can do that. You can go head to head on it and block a guy. You can double team block a guy. I get all that, but you can't put 700 pounds of torque behind somebody.
All right,
in a standstill motion.
A couple incorrect statements by Raheem Morris. Yes, you can absolutely push another player forward. Yeah. You see it all the time. You're not allowed to pull someone forward. So he mixes two things. There's no other play where you could push and pull. You're right. You can't pull, but you can push.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Let me ask you.
To me, that's not a football play. When a guy is stood up and then his like three of his guys, 700 more pounds, push forward. Rely on the guy making the tackle and the guy trying to break the tackle.
What's the common denominator between Sean McDermott and Raheem Morris?
I don't know. I don't care.
They're both defensive coaches.
All right.
Both of them.
Okay.
Both of them are defensive coaches. Now, I know Andy Reid, an offensive coach, also said that he wouldn't run it, but that's because he has Patrick Mahomes and doesn't have the personnel to do it.
Just to show you what a kind of guy I am, I'm going to get the consensus on your side with the coaches because then we have another guy,
Todd Bowles,
who's pro tush push.
You know what? Because he's Temple tough.
So you can
he's Temple strong, Ray.
So you don't get your protein shakes in an uproar. We'll hear from Todd Bowles.
It's a rugby element, but at the same time, when a team gets something that they're good at, you got to learn how to stop it. I don't think the first thing you can do is try to take it out of the ball game, or that takes away the creativity of everybody trying to do everything else. So you got to learn how to stop it. Until we learn how to stop it, I mean, they're going to continue. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Okay, but you can't,
learn how to stop it.
But you can't stop it. When it's run well, you can't stop it.
See, you can't qualify it like that. You can't say when it's run well, you can't stop it.
Unstoppable play.
Like, when it's run well, you can't stop a go route down the sidelines. When it's run well, you can't stop a back shoulder pass.
You can stop a go route, and you can stop a back shoulder play.
Not when it's run well. Right? When it's run well.
You can, because the quarterback still has to throw it accurately.
You can't qualify it with when it's run well. If it was an unstoppable play, meaning all 32 teams,
all right,
100% of the time, that's not the case.
I'll take the heat today because people here's the ultimate, folks. If some other team, like the Dallas Cowboys, were really good at it, I wonder if the people in Philadelphia would have the same view.
Yeah, the one thing I'm agreeing with you on this. If we were watching Dak Prescott and the Cowboys do it,
exactly.
I think the fans would be a little bit different.
Exactly. So I know where I stand.
But we created it.
And I know where you stand.
We created it.
Let's go to the phones. Eric in Fox Chase starts us off today. What's up, Eric?
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Sorry, Mike. I gotta agree with Bill on this
I
one.
know. Everybody's going to agree with Bill because this is a macho town, man. We're macho football fans.
Well, here's the thing I think is we have Jalen Hurts and the rest of the league doesn't. He squats 650 pounds and the rest of the quarterbacks don't.
And let me ask you this. Is Jalen Hurts doing this alone? Squatting his whatever he squats.
No, but that helps.
He still
And it
needs
also-
700 pounds behind him.
And also, so what? If why don't the defense, right, get two guys and push them?
Eric.
Yeah, I said that yesterday.
Eric, listen to me. You know
You're right.
You know the properties of physics, right?
Yeah,
So when you start with more weight than the other guy and you have the edge, the other guy can't then catch up.
Well, they could certainly try to do the same thing.
No, they
Come on,
can't because they don't know the snap count. That's what I'm saying. You got the snap count. You start your momentum of weight before they can stand you up.
That's an advantage on a regular quarterback sneak too.
Okay, well then you don't need the tush push. Let's go with the regular quarterback sneaks. That's my point.
I don't even like the play. I think it's boring. but
well, you just made my point for me. If you have a strong quarterback, then the quarterback sneak should work. You don't need 700 pounds of torque. That makes it ridiculous.
I'm going to say even if we did a regular quarterback sneak without the tush push, we'd probably be one of the best teams in the league.
Well, that's why.
Anyway.
Well, you just made my argument.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Listen, dude. Would you like general knowledge question?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
That's the first one.
This is the first one in general knowledge. All right. According to legend, what saint used the shamrock to explain a religious concept?
St. Patrick.
Correctamundo. Hold on 1 second here.
Was that a serious question?
It's a serious question.
Ray, I watch yours be insanely difficult after that. That could have been the easiest question that we've ever had on the show.
What do you want from me? It's the one that came up.
St. Patrick.
This is Ray's question. It should be equally easy. Which 23 blockbuster movie is about the physicist who led the U.S. effort to create the atomic bomb?
Oh, Oppenheimer.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Bill, you complaining now?
I mean, I'm usually on the caller's side. I just thought that was ridiculous. Ray, did you actually see Oppenheimer?
No.
Now, that you should watch that. Very well done. Great movie.
Sure, it's a great movie.
No. All right, he's tied. See that, Bill?
He is tied.
All the bitching. Everybody bitches.
I love that
At
actor,
the end,
too.
it all evens out.
Did you watch Peaky Blinders or no?
Watched a little bit of it. It didn't work for me.
You got to watch it with subtitles because it's too hard to understand that.
What, the Irish?
That accent, yeah.
Yeah,
It's Cillian Murphy's awesome in it, though.
yeah, I'm sure he is.
As Tommy Shelby.
Yeah. Well, by the way, his name might, well, it's not going to come up now, but TV show names are coming up. That's one of the categories. TV characters and movie characters. One of the
Ray's got a
categories.
better shot with TV than movies.
He does.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. In fact, I'll give him TV. Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks Patula promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine as the football world descends upon Indianapolis. We got a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman yesterday. Sirianni's availability open with the question about the promotion of Kevin Patullo to offensive coordinator.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity, the big word of the day for Sirianni when it comes to the Patullo promotion. NFL Combine runs through next Monday as we lead up, of course, to April's NFL Draft. 76ers return to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers won their third in a row, crushed the Penguins 6-1 last night. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow night against those same Penguins. Phillies won yesterday as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour in 2 scoreless innings. Edmundo Sosa drove in 2 runs in the victory. Bryce Harper in the lineup today as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays at 1:07. This update is brought to you by, I'm telling you what's up there, Allstate. Yeah, that's brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
55, Mike Missanelli Show. $100 Wednesday. The prize today. Sixer tickets. Now, before you crinkle your nose at me, this is a game against the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry. How many more times are you going to see Steph?
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler joining that squad. He's buttoned them up a little bit.
They actually are a contender in the West now.
Yes, they are. They've been moving. No, they got some talent.
No, that's an expensive ticket, too. It really is.
Yeah,
a lot of people want to go to that game. So this is a good prize.
Yes.
And you get to beat Ray Dunn. So double whammy.
That is correct. But Ray is cocky. And Ray says, I don't lose even though one of the categories is movie and TV characters.
Yeah, he's thinking he'll make it up on the others.
Yeah, but he thinks he's going to slay the three-point shooting contest. You're not cheating over there, right? You're not looking at a list.
No. The only list I'm looking at right now is my Dynasty Fantasy Baseball draft list.
Oh,
you're doing your fantasy baseball coming up.
Yeah, we got, this is a continuous thing. We're not doing a timed thing. We're doing the long off-season type draft. And
you know what you should do?
Bare bones right now in terms of who's available.
Is you should draft the person that CBS Sports said is going to have a breakout season for the Phillies.
I do have a need in the outfield, so.
Mike, I was reading this article this morning. CBS Sports, they do breakout candidate for every team in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
The player they have is a breakout candidate for the Phillies, Cal Stevenson. You got to completely throw this article out the window.
Come on.
How do you put Cal? He might even make the damn team.
That's just a guess. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, man.
It really is. I mean, come on.
I stopped reading the article. I can't read this. You can't take this
He's a
seriously.
left-handed hitter. He's got no chance to make the team.
Breakout candidate.
All right. Well, anyway, let's go back to our text board. Lots of tush push text. Let's roll some tush push text, or as we call them here, anti-Mike text.
Zach from Florida. Eliminating a play because one team is good at it is crazy, and saying it can't be stopped is factually wrong because it has been stopped. Even the Eagles have been stopped. So work hard to replicate what was done on the plays where stopping it was successful. Not knowing the snap count is the same advantage as a pitcher has with pitch selection. The batter might not have an idea of what's coming, or he may not.
Yeah, the Eagles have been stopped how many times? What's the percentage?
I think
in the 90s, isn't it?
I think it was like 86%. Let me. I'll try to look that up.
Okay, so basically that's unstoppable.
No, unstoppable would be 100.
When it comes to that.
No, it would be
all relative.
It'd be 100.
It's very rarely that somebody will stop the Eagles from doing it.
86.8% since 2022.
That's almost cinch level. 86 point. Come on.
Last year they only converted 82.4%.
These folks that are doing this, I get it. It's like somebody's taking away your candy as an Eagle fan. I get it. I totally get it. But you're not looking at it objectively at all. If another team did it, you would be saying it's an unfair advantage for that team. So, all I'm doing is asking you to look within. This is why I don't get involved. I look at it as it seems odd to me that would be a football play.
See, now, I would like to think that even if another team was doing it, even if it was the hated Dallas Cowboys, I'd be frustrated that it was an unstoppable play, quote unquote, as you're saying.
Yeah.
But I would want my team to figure it out.
Yeah.
How to stop it, how to run it. I don't think I would be calling for we can't stop it, so ban it.
Of course you would.
Ban it.
Of course you would. Of course you would be. Of course you would be calling to ban it.
All right, let me ask you.
If somebody in the NFL was behind it, you would be right on board with it.
I don't think I would be calling for the ban because I don't love the argument it's not a football play.
Yeah,
I don't think that you make that argument.
It's really just not, Bill. Come on. It's not in the spirit of what football is.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I know exactly what it means. Again, I don't like when you push a ball carrier when you're in a pile, and to me it's like one-on-one, mano-a-mano football is. You make a play that you're supposed to get tackled, and I don't think that you need 700 pounds of torque behind a guy, which makes a play unstoppable in my mind. I just don't think it's right.
All right, when you say one-on-one, Saquon Barkley's in the open field. Defensive back tries to tackle him. Doesn't have him down to the ground yet, but he's got him wrapped up. Should another defensive player be able to come and try to bring him down to the ground?
Yes.
I thought it was mano-a-mano.
Yes. Well,
it's one-on-one.
But you're trying to tackle the guy. You got to get him down.
So it's all relative.
He's already made his gain. Like now it's the time you get him down. So his gain is his gain. He made the gain on his own. And now you got to tackle him. He's strong enough where you may need another guy to help. You're not going to get 700 pounds worth.
But if you're right at the sticks, right? You're right at the sticks. Saquon Barkley is hit, and now it's one-on-one. The defensive players are going to come and try to push him back so he doesn't cross the sticks. The offensive players are going to come and try to push him forward so he does.
His forward momentum is what the rule is. So whatever his forward momentum is, that's where the play is.
Yeah, but we've seen that time and time again. That momentum, the forward momentum is not ruled as stopped.
Forward momentum rule in there.
There is, but we've seen it where a runner, ball carrier.
Bill, what time is it?
I'm getting too worked up about this.
You are, but you're forgetting that this is WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. We broadcast from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities.
Well said.
Thank you very much. All right, let's go to Jonah in Philly. Jonah, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jonah.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's up, Jonah?
So, I'm a big fan of you two. I've even met you guys in passing before. I love you both. But, Mike, I know this is a common theme today. I don't really understand your argument with this.
Well, here's my argument. The league back then, in the 2000 era, said that's not a football play, and you can't do it. That was a penalty. You couldn't do it. So now all of a sudden they loosened them. So why at the time did they do that?
Are you asking me or are you about this?
I'm asking you. Why would they make a value judgment on that play before and then loosen the reins on it? But because at one point you couldn't do that.
Now, I can't give you the answer as to why they banned it before.
Okay, well, maybe they had the same rationale as I. That it's really not in the spirit of football. It's like it's not.
Right, is it though? Because here's how I look at it. I don't care if it's 700 pounds of torque, and I know you said that the injury argument wasn't your argument, but the way I see it is, if you can't stop it, then figure out how to stop it.
But you can't stop it. You can't. But by simple physics, you can't stop it.
There's an 86% effectiveness rate.
But come on, that's like 100%.
Fail.
Really?
I've seen them fail. I've seen them fail against the Buccaneers. I've seen them fail.
Dude, you're talking about two M&Ms that spill out of a bag when the whole bag is still edible. Like occasionally you're going to stop it. It doesn't mean that the play is stoppable.
See, to me though, that just means that we came up with a good play. To me, we shouldn't be penalized.
But you didn't come up with a good play. You came up with a play where you were aided by 700 pounds of torque.
That's a good play. See, the model of NFL coaching for play calling.
Let's cut to the chase. If the Dallas Cowboys are doing it, you like it.
See, you said that before, and I thought about it because it's a very interesting question, so I put a lot of thought into it.
Okay.
And I think the answer is yes. I would hate it. I hate it with that here we go nonsense. I would hate it.
Yeah.
But
Here we go. That was a good one right there.
Yeah, but see, here you goes in the shotgun. I don't know if he would hear you. Here we go.
I know that. But my point is, I would hate it, but the competitor in me, I feel like I would just be a sore loser if I said, well, that play, they shouldn't be allowed to do the play that gets them that 1 yard.
Yeah, I got you. All right, man.
So,
let's play general knowledge.
Absolutely.
All right, movie character. Rod Tidwell.
Oh, man, I know this. I'm going to be mad at myself for giving up on this. Rod Tidwell. I'm going to throw it out there as the biggest guess in the world and say that was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character from Jerry Maguire.
That is correct.
Whoa, great guess.
Now, hold on a second. Was that a Google moment?
He may have Googled it.
Was that a Google moment?
Yeah, did you Google Jonah?
Ray is the judge of that. Hold on, let's bring him back. In.
Yeah.
He's already having his information gathered.
Hey, Darren. He's in.
Darren's.
Hey.
Darren.
It was Jonah that got it.
It was Jonah?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. All right.
Darren's next up. Don't worry, Darren.
Jonah's already on with the AP.
Jonah's on with
Jonah's already getting the information taken. We'll give it to Jonah.
Yeah, I think he Googled it, but we'll give it to him.
All right, it's time for Ray.
I'm in a giving mood.
Ray, TV character. See the type of guy I am? Tyrion Lannister.
Oh, my God, Ray. You never watched Game of Thrones?
No.
Ray!
Take your Dungeons and Dragons and you go somewhere else with it.
Oh, my God. This is like your generation.
Yeah, that's great for my generation. They can have that.
I thought I was giving him a softball.
Oh, my
there.
God. You may be the only kid with a 1,500 SAT that doesn't watch Game of Thrones.
All right. Sorry, man.
I feel like that's
Well,
like right
but
up the alley.
in the modern culture, it was played by Peter Dinklage. So, like, he got enough pub on playing that character.
What night was it on?
I don't know. I watch it on demand.
Yeah, it's
Well, no, when it was on, because it was everyone.
probably
Oh my gosh, another Game of
Sunday
Thrones.
night.
I think it was Sunday nights.
Sunday night, yeah.
Well,
Probably good.
you
Ray,
had-
I'm
you had-
blown
you had
away.
something going on Sunday night? I got
Probably homework, NBA. You know, there's- think about when Game of Thrones was on.
Ray,
I was like in high
Sunday
school.
night was primetime TV Sunday night.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm shocked that Ray didn't watch that.
I am too.
I thought that would have been right up your alley.
Nope.
All right, so we got 2-1 score.
We do, and people in the YouTube chat agreeing with Ray that they've never watched it either.
Well, but
They would have known Tyrion Lannister.
Right, even if you've never watched it, Peter Dinklage is a little person who got all this acclaim and won all kinds of awards for that character, Tyrion Lannister.
That was his second best role ever. His best role was in Elf. Do you remember that scene?
You put him in Elf?
Do you remember that scene?
That's not right. It's not politically correct.
Yeah, but the scene.
You put him in Elf?
He's not an elf in it. That's the
Well,
point.
what is he?
He's an author. But Will Ferrell's character, who comes from the North Pole, refers to him as an elf, and Peter Dinklage gets so mad he attacks him. It's very funny
Oh,
scene.
that's who that is. Now I get it.
Yes, you've seen that scene, right?
I've seen
No,
that scene.
He's also.
Of course, I've seen Elf.
He was also in this movie, The Train Station, where I think he won. Was Oscar nominated.
He also was in the recent movie Wicked, but he plays the voice of the goat, who's the teacher.
Look at Bill with all this knowledge.
Yes.
Anyway, it's audience 2, Ray 1, and we're playing for 6 of tickets versus Steph. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sixers win.
I'm Mike Missanelli Show, 111, 610-632-0975, General Knowledge Day. Talking about the tush push, talking about Kevin Patullo, talking about what Howie Roseman had to say. Hey, stay off me a little bit. May look a little different. But, it's not, we can't all get everything at once, so just be patient out there, people. Well, I'm on a good note with you right now. I know I get hit in the head with a beer can, but I'm on a good note. Stay off.
Yeah, he referenced that too. Said he survived the parade. That he's not as pretty as he used to be.
Yeah.
But listen, I think the fan base, and maybe they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the fan base will be okay as long as they retain Zach Bond. I think if they were to lose Williams, Sweat, and Becton, but re-sign Zach Bond, I think people will have patience.
Let's hear what he had to say about that. It's a quick hit. Howie Roseman, number 4.
To kind of put us in a box and say, hey, we're not going to pay because historically we haven't done that. I mean, part of what we do is evolve and look at things and see how things are affecting our team, how things are affecting the league, and seeing our place in that.
Now, well, there you go. So,
and he's referring to the linebacker position.
Yeah,
basically.
Right. So here's what he had to say about Bond getting more from Bond than the Saints did.
I don't really think that's fair to say about the Saints. Obviously we're playing in a different system. They did a great job, but they traded up in the draft to go select him in the 3rd round. He was a player that everyone did a lot of work on coming out of Wisconsin. You knew what kind of tools he had in his body. You knew what intangibles he had, and he was looking for an opportunity to play. When you bring in a new defense coordinator like we did with Vic and looking at some of the guys that he had success with and seeing some parallels there, and then you got to give a tremendous amount of credit to Zach and the work that he did playing a new position for the first time in the NFL. Our coaching staff, making sure he was put in a great position to make plays, and obviously really proud of all those people.
All right.
Nah, he's just being nice, man.
Yeah.
Roseman's being nice because if you look at the numbers of Zach Bond in New Orleans, he played 27% of the snaps the year before last, 10%, 17%, 8%. They were not utilizing this guy, and those snaps were mostly at the edge rusher position. So he's being nice, saying that the Saints didn't mess up. No, they messed up.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
they don't
he wasn't going to throw anybody under the bus.
Criticize any other organization. All right, before we get back to the calls and get to the text board where we have a lot of tush-push calls and hatred towards me.
Rightfully so.
I got some hatred towards some people. I've been being besieged, text-wise and phone call-wise, by people interested in supposedly buying my house. Do you get these?
Not only do I get them, my dad has the same name as me. So I get texts about a house he used to own that he no longer even owns anymore in South Philly.
Now, I love this because we've been looking at the area, and your property came up as palatable. That we want to know if you're interested in stuff. So I always write back. I go, okay, well, make me an offer. and they go, well, I go, well, if you know so much about my house, I'm sure you know what the worth could be. So I would be interested in selling my house if you make me a quality offer.
Do they respond?
No, they never do. They never respond.
So I don't get what it's about then.
Well, it's like they try to buy up properties cheap, and then either flip them or turn them over, and that's how they make their money. So they go, well, we'll offer you this kind of money right now. You won't have to go through a realtor. You won't have to go through the process. Blah blah blah. I go, okay, make me an offer. Like I own this townhouse. I used to live in the townhouse, and I rent it too.
But then why wouldn't they make you the offer if you're asking?
I don't know, because they don't know what the house is. They just get random property numbers.
Gotcha.
And they take a shot because they're not interested in the property per se. They're just interested in the buy that they can flip.
See, I've always wondered too. You ever been driving down the road and on the telephone pole there's a printed paper and it says "We buy houses" and it has the phone number on it? I guess it's a similar thing.
It's a similar thing. They're all these independent little people that aren't really qualified real estate wise, but they just want to buy houses and sell them for better price.
Now, I also get tons of calls to my cell phone that are like sales calls. Do you answer them?
I'd never answer them.
Same. So I never answer if I don't have the recognized number.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, who listens every day, he answers every one of them.
Really?
And talks to them.
Yeah.
And like, well, I'm like, just hang up.
I don't, but I have had a text exchange, and I go, okay, since you know so much about my house, what do you think it's worth? And they never answer it, because if they said we really like your property because we think we can rent your property. So I think your property is worth, I don't know, $500,000. We'll give you an offer of $500,000 right now. And at that point, I would go, all right. I would call their bluff.
Yeah, but they don't do it.
No. All right, let's go back to the text board. Tush push text. Come on, Ray. Hit us.
JB in Pottstown. Mike, your logic is terrible. You don't like a play because it looks odd. In 1906, when the forward pass was legalized in professional football, that probably looked odd too, but teams figured out how to defend it. In 1960, when the 49ers ran shotgun for the first time, that probably looked odd too, but teams figured out how to defend it. The tush push is literally the only play where the defense knows exactly what the offenses are running. How is that an unfair advantage?
It's an unfair advantage because of physics. People don't understand. Did you go to physics class? Apparently not. I don't know. I wasn't a great physics student either. But I know that if you have 700 pounds of torque pushing your quarterback forward, and you know what the snap count is, and you start your momentum first, it is literally impossible that it's not an immovable force versus whatever they call the object. It's you have the advantage of pushing first. That's the point. You got more leverage and weight in pushing first. That's why it's unfair.
Ray.
It's physics.
Beating my head against
And you're making these analogies like the forward pass and the shotgun. It's idiotic. It's what Bill tried to do with the forward pass earlier in the show. And Bill often puts idiotic stuff out there.
Yeah, but you're being idiotic by saying that it's physics, when that would mean that they should outlaw.
Did I offend you with the...
It's
big. Physics. It's a Mack truck starting its engine before the other team has a chance to start their engine. Do you not see this?
It's not fair. Derrick Henry should not be able to play running back.
Perfectly logical. People say, oh, it's logical. My point is perfectly logical according to the law of physics.
You're not making any sense.
What are you talking about? The law of physics. You can't make any more sense than the law of physics. Right, tell them. You probably were a great physics students there in
I stayed away
Bishop
from
Shanahan.
physics.
I took physics in high school.
Wherever you went. Where'd you go? Springford.
Yeah, I didn't go private. I was public school.
Ray, what else? Do you got more text on this?
Yeah, we'll keep it in Pottstown.
You're all against me. Go ahead. I'll take the hit. I don't care.
Now we got MJ in Pottstown doing one of my things I can't stand. Ray, tell Mike you miss. I'm going to tell him. So don't put that in the text. It makes it more difficult because I'm trying to scroll through text.
Tell Mikey Miss. What? Tell Mikey Miss what? Then tell Mikey Miss that I'm a homer, and I like the fact that we converted 86.86%. Tell him that.
I mean, that's
to be the next text.
A good thesis for MJ's text. Could all teams run the tush push? Answer is yes. So if every team can run the same play, then why the hell is this a big deal?
Well, then every team should. I'm not saying that teams are faulty for not perfecting it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the play itself is unfair. God. Well, I don't understand this, people.
It's unfair.
It's
I don't understand how it's unfair.
Unfootball play. 610-632-0975. Tell Mike you missed this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks Pasula promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine, and as the football world descends upon Indianapolis, we got a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. Nick Sirianni's availability opened with a question about the promotion of Kevin Pasula to offensive coordinator.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity, the word of the day for Sirianni when talking about Patullo there at the Combine. The Combine now running through Monday in the lead up to April's NFL Draft. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, 76ers turn to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers won their third in a row, crushed the Penguins 6-1 last night. They're back in action in Pittsburgh against those same Penguins tomorrow night. Phillies won yesterday in Grapefruit League action as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour in 2 scoreless innings, and Mundo Sosa drove in 2 runs in the victory. Bryce Harper in the lineup today as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays at 1:07. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sixers tonight at the Knickknacks. Oh, how you feel about this? Knicks 9.5-point fave. Almost seems too low.
They're going to get smoked.
You think smoke? 9.5 is the line. What do you think?
Well, look, the way they came out against the Bulls, they showed zero heart. Is there any way that after an embarrassing performance like that, and we heard from Paul George after you played that clip a lot yesterday, is there any way that they come out and play with a little heart? Any chance of it?
I don't know. You can never tell. 9.5 seems low. I don't know. It seems low. But I got a play for tonight that I think is golden in the NBA.
I'm assuming it's not the Sixers game.
No. Celtics are at the Pistons.
Yeah, I got them as 4.5-point favorites.
Uh-huh. I think the Pistons could shake up the world outright tonight with that line.
Will Tobias Harris triple-double, maybe? Did you watch Luka last night?
Well, I was just going to get to that. Last night, of course, Luka, first game against his old team. It was in L.A., and 107-99, the Lakers win. And Luka had a triple-double. He had 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. However, they said he didn't play that well. Chance a guy gets a triple-double, he doesn't play that well. Let's see. What did he shoot? You have a bad shooting night?
He didn't have a great shooting night.
6 for 17 and 1 for 7 from three-point line.
He didn't have a great shooting night, but he almost had a triple-double in the first half.
Yeah, you can't argue with triple-double. 6 for 17 and 1 for 7? Man. That's not a great night.
He's coming in his own, though, a little bit.
LeBron James, 27 and 12.
Ho-hum.
That's unbelievable.
He really
Another
is
day at the office.
He is. He's unbelievable.
It's phenomenal. I mean, how long could this guy play?
It's crazy.
All right, let's go back.
Him and his son just got sued. Did you see that?
I saw that on a car accident.
Yeah, they denied all claims.
Oh, look at you. Bill wants a piece of it. Bill wants a piece of LeBron here. His eyes lit up. What? LeBron?
He's got some
defended
he's
in a
got
car
some cash,
accident?
man. I'll pay you just to go away.
You don't want that.
Susie, make an appointment with Dr. Bison. Bill's calling chiropractors already.
You don't want that smoke with LeBron.
Dude, I sued Snoop Dogg before.
You sued Snoop Dogg? What?
Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa were involved. But
wait. Tell this
we ended
story.
up.
How did you get involved with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg?
It was involving the railing collapse at the BB&T Pavilion during one of their concerts.
Oh.
So when you file...
You sue them all. You sue everybody.
When you file a lawsuit, and I think a lot of people don't understand
Include
it,
everybody.
you have to include everybody.
Yep.
You have to, because if it comes out later that there was another person responsible and you didn't include them, you could have prejudiced your client. So I had to sue them. Now, they got out of the case. They didn't have to pay any money.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, me sending letters to, I forget, what's his name? Calvin Bose.
You didn't call him Mr. Dog?
No, it was, what's his real name? I remember sending letters to him.
Brodus.
Yeah, Calvin Brodus. Calvin Cardozo Brodus Jr. I'm sending letters to his house in L.A. And Wiz Khalifa.
Cardozo?
Yes. And Wiz Khalifa, his last name is Tomaz with a Z. So he actually has
What's Wiz's first name?
The Z.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron Tomaz is I think his name. Yes, Cameron Tomaz.
So you didn't say Mr. Dog, huh?
No, I wanted to be able to take his deposition. I wanted to fly down to, see Snoop, party with him and stuff.
How did you make out?
Party with him?
Did you
You're
sue the
suing him and you expect to party with him?
Did you get a settlement from the BB&T Pavilion?
The case was against Live Nation.
Oh, okay.
And it was all confidential.
Oh.
Yeah, everything was confidential. Trust me, they wanted confidentiality.
But you're out of the profession. Yeah,
Doesn't matter. It's still the
lawyer-client privilege still attaches?
No, the confidentiality involving the settlement
agreement?
is it in?
Why don't you tell us?
Is forever. Yeah, just you two.
Just the two of us.
All right, just the two of us.
And whoever's behind the glass right there.
Yeah. Just the whole world here.
We got people are coming by. Hello, how's it going? This is like a little tour of some sort.
Well, yeah, everyone's like, oh man, is that Bill Colarulo in there? Don't you think, Ray? Is that Ray Dunn? Who's that other guy with him?
Well, it's interesting. How's it feel to be?
Who is he? I know. I feel like we're in an aquarium.
We are.
That's why I like this place.
Yeah,
they
we're
got me cut out. They can't
People
see
taking
me.
pictures of us.
See you, ladies.
This must be what fish feel like at the Camden Aquarium.
Ooh, I went to the Bass Pro Shop, the big pyramid at Memphis yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I saw you posted that.
Massive tank in there with fish. They do a fish.
Are you a bassman?
No, not at all. But you put a Bass Pro Shops in a pyramid. I mean, I'm at least going to go check it out.
Are you an assman?
No comment. There's a hotel inside of that pyramid.
That's another Seinfeld reference that Bill doesn't get.
Yeah,
which is a shame, man.
I know. We were talking about it off there.
You're missing so much.
Do I have to go and watch them? Or is it too late now?
Listen,
no, it's not too late.
This was a classic episode of a proctologist who had a vanity license plate. It said ass man. And it got confused that Kramer somehow got it.
I'll watch Seinfeld if Ray watches.
You're so far behind.
Ray's got to watch a movie we tell him to watch.
How many episodes of Seinfeld were there, Ray? 180 something?
Yeah, 9 seasons worth, about 20. Yeah,
you couldn't catch up, Bill.
Nah, you're in trouble.
All right, let's get back to the text board, then we'll get back to the phones, play general knowledge. What do you got on text board, Anti-Mike? Go ahead.
Paul, the unread texter, says, doesn't the offense have the advantage on every play?
No, because it's one-on-one blocking. They don't have the advantage in every play. And linebackers can fill gaps. So, no, they don't have the advantage.
Not always one-on-one blocking. There's double teams.
Yeah, occasional double teams. To blow a guy out to get a hole, but then a linebacker fills and makes the tackle. So that's not an unfair advantage. It has nothing to do with the immutable law of physics, with 700 pounds pushing torque.
Yeah, but then you should never be able to do it. It's unfair.
It is unfair,
I think
and that's why they should take the
You know what
push
else they should do, Ray?
Because the Eagles would still be successful with a quarterback sneak with Jalen Hurts.
You know what else they should do, Ray? They should ban any offensive lineman pulling. Because if they pull into the open field, it would be unfair for a 300-pound lineman to take on a defensive back. It's unfair, right?
We got a texter that said that.
Yeah, but however, a defensive back is quick enough to not take the blow and still make the tackle. Again, you're giving me silly examples, and you're wasting my time, Bill. My time is valuable on this show, and now you're wasting it.
I think that you are wasting
let's go to the phones.
This argument.
Let's go to Darren in Phoenixville. Darren, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Darren.
Dream team.
What's up, Darren?
What's up, Mike? What's up, Bill?
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Mike, are you trolling a little bit?
Nope.
With the push?
From the moment I saw that, I said on the air, that's an unfair play. I didn't like the tush push. And this is before the Eagles really got good at it. And I don't care that they got good at it. It's still an unfair play. The only reason you like it is because it benefits the Eagles. Darren, be truthful with me.
All right, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Did you answer my question? You
sure.
didn't.
No, you're right. I'm
okay.
biased.
All right. Well, then there you go. Now, what other argument could you possibly have?
I don't believe it should be outlawed, though, regardless. But I'm just saying, why is the play so effective for the Eagles?
The Eagles perfect it, and in my view, any other team can perfect it when you have 700 pounds of torque that benefits the play. I don't know why other people don't use it or don't perfect it.
But I'm asking a specific question about why is it so effective?
I assume because they don't want their passing quarterback to be in harm's way that way. But every team that really works on that should be able to convert that play because they have the advantage of physics.
But I'm saying because I'm looking for him being in the gym, him lifting, him being able to squat the 600.
Okay. Well, then he should do it himself. Why does he need 700 more pounds then if he's so strong?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that's why it's so effective. I mean,
it's effective because he got 700 pounds behind him. That's why it's effective.
But other teams have the same opportunity.
Then just run the quarter. If he's so effective, why would you need the 700 pounds of torque? If he's so strong, any quarterback sneak he would be able to convert by your principle.
No, it's not the same.
What do you mean it's not the same? You're the one who brought up how strong he was.
Yeah, I'm saying because he should be able to use his strength, and you're right, he has other players helping him.
Okay, now you're getting to the point. He's got other players helping him.
But that's the game, though.
Yeah, but no, it's not the game, Darren, because that was outlawed before. It wasn't the game. Hasn't always been the game.
Why they bring it back?
I don't know why they brought it back. At one point, they thought it wasn't a football play, and they banned it.
They brought it back because they said it was too difficult to determine who was pushing who, because it used to be a penalty, and you weren't always able to. It was not an objective penalty. It was very subjective. Who's pushing who?
But you got to trace the history of it, Darren. It once was illegal. So why was it illegal? Because they said that's not a football play. That's all I'm saying. And I know you're an Eagle fan, bro.
Yeah, I know you are too. And I got one more thing to say about it.
Go ahead.
I feel like Philadelphia, we're getting a little bit of cachet now, a little bit of notoriety. So taking that play away, it's not about taking the play away. It is, but at the same time,
of course, when somebody gets
they always make Philly seem like a bad place.
I get it. I get that. I get that rationale, but because we're so overly provincial, we have a tendency to look at it that way too. Let me give you your general knowledge question.
All
right. This is the NBA 3-point shooting contest winners. In 2017, this 3-point shooter won it for the Houston Rockets, and he has a Philadelphia 76er identity.
For the Houston Rockets, 2017.
Don't Google.
No more hints. I'm not Googling. No more hints.
No more hints.
27. James Harden.
Incorrect. Good guess, though. Should I give Ray the same one? Yes. Ray, Houston Rockets 2017 has somewhat of a Sixer identity as well.
Somewhat of a Sixer identity.
That's giving it away, I think.
Is throwing me here. You know, because the guy just loves his former Rockets. And I don't want to imagine that this guy was actually in the 3-point contest at one point. But I'll go, for lack of a better answer in my head, Eric Gordon?
Correct.
That is correct.
Wow, Ray.
How about Ray?
Watching the way his big brain works sometimes.
Well, I mean, listen, since Morey's taken over, former Rockets are welcome. If you played for the Rockets, you might as well stop on by and at least stand out front over there in Camden, see if you get a job.
Now, if Mike didn't give you the Sixers connection, would you have gotten it?
Once it wasn't Harden, I was going to start to work my way through that era. I don't know if Eric Gordon would be the first one that jumps.
Eric Gordon, I don't know how many people can remember he actually won a 3-point shooting contest.
Well, that was what? 75 years ago? So
it was 2017. It's 8 years ago.
75 in NBA years.
He shoots like T.J. McConnell.
He's out now, right? That happened while I was gone.
He needs
surgery on the wrist.
Yeah, boy, they're going to really miss
him. Tank job.
They're going to totally miss him.
Oh, man.
610-632-0975. That's how you get in. What do you got old man for? What are you old man in?
No, we can get into it coming up.
Tease it.
The NFLPA put out their report cards, and some of the things that the players said is just, it's hilarious.
Report cards, the players. So is it anonymous?
It's anonymous, but clearly you know it's your players who are grading you.
You know, I used to have to give, when I taught at St. Joe's, I used to have to give my class an evaluation sheet. They would evaluate me. And
Always flying colors?
And I would try to figure out who it was by their handwriting. Somebody gave me a bad review. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas.
If Zach Bond...
TurboTax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live full service.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you want...
All right, it's General Knowledge Wednesday, and hi, 2-2, Ray in the audience. The categories are general knowledge, TV, movie characters, NBA three-point contest winners. We're rolling along here with tush-push conversation. A little more Eagles today. The Sixers, we unleashed hell yesterday on the Sixers and what happened in that game against the Chicago Bulls, a home game, which really, I think, embarrassed the franchise a great deal. I called for heads. Heads were not rolling. So I guess they're going to the rest of the year with this whole thing. And the question still becomes Nick Nurse's job security. Frankly, if I'm the owner, I evaluate everybody, and I may make a change in the front office and at the coaching box.
Yeah, the question just is, do you do it now or do you wait?
They're after. If they didn't do it after that game, they're not doing it.
Yeah, I think they're just going to let
because that was like such an embarrassment that a reactive owner would have said, "I had enough now. Now we got to make a change just so they can make it a change." He decided not to. Maybe he was tied up with the Jersey Devils game and didn't really see the result.
Do we know who's playing and who's not playing yet tonight? Did we get a? I'm assuming Maxey and George will play.
We get an update. Let me see if they have. I'll find that out right now because GameCast usually will have who's out.
Yeah.
All right. So we got GameCast. Okay. Let's see. Injury report: Eric Gordon out. Quentin Grimes, GTD.
Game time decision.
That's correct. Justin Edwards, GTD. Kyle Lowry out. Gershon Yabusele out.
Oh, he's got both eyes being evaluated.
Yeah, that didn't seem like a real thing to read and engage with as it happened. I feel bad for him, but like of all the weird Sixer injuries, now we're wondering whether or not he's got scratched eyes.
Yeah.
The one
eyes,
bright
plural.
spot of this season?
Well, he hadn't been a bright spot lately.
All right, well, listen,
off.
Nothing's been a bright spot lately.
The Knicks have a couple GTDs.
But so-
OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns, game time decision.
But the big names, the big three, they're not on the injury report?
No, they're not. They're playing.
Embiid's out.
Well, Embiid's got to be out.
Oh, Embiid wasn't even on the list.
He's not even on the injury report.
Not even on the injury report.
Hey, you mentioned Yabusele, and it reminded me of watching that Court of Gold with the French national team.
Yeah.
Did you see the way Nico Batum leaned into them after that one game that they had?
Yes. He said
loved
the
him.
F-bomb in French.
He did. But you see, that may be what this team is lacking. Like, who on this Sixers team would have leaned into them the way Nico Batum leaned into that French national team? It doesn't seem like there's a guy in that locker room that could carry that type of weight.
You're absolutely right. They have nobody like that, which is faulty roster construction.
I would have loved if they kept Nico, but he wanted to go back to the West Coast.
Look at even the veterans that they had signed at the start of the year. Which one of those guys you think would be respected enough? Now, I know people fell in love with Patrick Beverly when he was here.
Yeah.
As one of those guys that could do that. But he caused more trouble than he benefited.
But I would have thought Paul George, but he doesn't seem to be that type of guy.
He doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
He's not invested.
And then you had Maxey calling out Embiid early in the season, but Maxey's still too young, I think. It's just unfortunate, man. Well, maybe they answer back tonight. Maybe they come out with some heart tonight.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to play the Sixers. I'm going to play the Sixers plus the 9.5.
Ray thinks that's comical to say they play with heart.
You think really, Ray? You wouldn't take the Sixers plus 9.5 tonight?
No.
Really?
No. Plus 19.5, I'd still be wondering.
But like tonight,
That's a fishy line. I'm taking them.
tonight, I mean,
What?
this would be it. Like after the performance you had against Chicago in your own building, dropping.
Well, they're so rock
50.
bottom that it's so easy to take the Knicks tonight, and that's why the line at 9.5 is not befitting of the rock bottomness of this franchise.
True.
So, Bill, be surprised.
Yeah, you got to watch the game.
I watch every game.
You watch every game.
Yes, I'm invested with every dribble.
Every dribble. All 4 quarters.
Every dribble, all 4 quarters. It's correct. The news at noon is coming up, by the way, at 12 o'clock. Let's go back to the phones. David in Philly. David, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dave?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
How are you, David?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I wanted to speak on the Sixers.
Go ahead.
I don't know if, these are completely possible because I'm not a GM and I don't really know the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts of, like, how all of the trade business goes down, but I just want to throw some possibilities out there and see what you guys think. So, is it possible that they could package Embiid and Paul George? Because I don't think anyone in this city would be mad if they traded both of them at the same time, if we got something significant in return. So,
Package, meaning package them together for one team?
Yes. So
no, they can't. They can't do that because of salaries. That would be like $120 million of salaries. Who's going to be able to take that on with the salary cap?
Well, does it, like, if we get other players back, does that, like...
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to get those the players that make that kind of money to match salaries. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, Embiid right now is at $51.42 million. Paul George makes about the same, right? So you're talking about $100 million. Now, no team has $100 million of cap space if they're under the cap. If they're over the cap, they wouldn't have players making that kind of money to send back to you. Most likely. And the other thing is, why would any team do that?
Well, if you're looking to get someone like Giannis and like Bobby Portis and maybe draft capital.
Yeah, if you're looking to do that, yes. Would the Bucks be willing to trade Giannis for Paul George and Embiid?
That's the question.
Well, I don't know. You answer. I'm asking you to answer it.
I think I think maybe the Bucks. If it was, I don't know. Maybe the Bucks. Maybe not.
All right, I'll make you the GM. I'll make you the GM of the Bucks right now. I just gave you a promotion. All right, you're the general manager of the Bucks. Be objective. Are you making that deal?
For Embiid and Paul George.
Yes, and you're giving away my best player.
Well, it would depend on if their season ending this year. If their season ended unexpectedly,
So he would have to ask out, basically.
Yeah,
he'd have to put them in a spot.
It would depend on that.
Yeah.
But what if you look at something like how Dallas, they just traded Luka?
Yeah.
Would you look at a Kyrie Irving and a Daniel Gafford?
Yeah, again, the salaries wouldn't match on that. Daniel Gafford doesn't make anything.
No.
It's a good listen. It's a good thought. I like your thought process, but it's pretty illogical that you could trade both of them somewhere. Like when Milwaukee would have to be a trade for Giannis and for Dame. That's the salary would match up would have to be, and they're not going to do that.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Bobby Portis isn't going to be able to make enough money to make that trade work. All right, let me give you a general knowledge question. You ready?
Yeah.
What movie's opening scene features a muscular, naked man delivering the line, "Your clothes, give them to me now"?
I think it's a Marvel movie.
It is not a Marvel movie.
Your clothes, give them to me now.
Not that recent.
Your clothes, give them to me now.
Oh. Is it a Terminator movie?
It is the Terminator! Woo! Woo!
The original Terminator.
It is the original. How about that?
It's a classic.
Out of the blue.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, Ray, don't play that music yet.
And Mike, real quick, before you give Ray his question. Embiid and Paul George, after this season, with their player options, combined are owed over $400 million.
Yeah.
So they're not, no team is taking that on.
No.
And you got to look at it. The Sixers are trying to get rid of these guys.
Yeah,
Why would another team want them?
AAV, too, to see if it will fit under your cap. And it doesn't. Ray? What is the Russian version of the name John?
Russian version of the name John. Jonah, I have no idea.
Incorrect. It's Ivan or Ivan. Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. Ray's down 3-2.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks Patullo promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine. As the football world descends upon Indianapolis, we got a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. Sirianni's availability opened up with a question about Kevin Patullo being promoted to offensive coordinator, and here's what Sirianni had to say.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity is the word of the day for Sirianni. He'll be down there at the NFL Combine. It runs through Monday in the lead up to April's NFL Draft. 76ers return to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Flyers won their third game in a row, crushing the Penguins 6-1 last night. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow against those same Penguins. Phillies won yesterday in Grapefruit League action as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour to score the innings. Mundo Sosa drove in 2 runs in the win. Bryce Harper in the lineup as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays today at 1:07. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn in the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
The tush push. I got a killer closing argument, but I don't want to bring it out until the end. Because the great American astrophysicist and writer Neil deGrasse Tyson it has this session with the guy that's on the NFL morning show. What's his name? Kyle somebody? Kyle Brandt. Where he gives a physics explanation on why the tush push works. But I won't bring that out until the end. I know, Bill, you think you're in a trial, you win some points. I don't bring my killer play out until late in the argument.
Well, I would ask Your Honor to not allow that into evidence since I was not made aware.
Well, I'm making you aware now so you can study it.
Hey, before you go to the news at noon, though, real quick on this NFLPA report card, I'm shocked, man, because the Philadelphia Eagles finished last season 4th in the NFL. Do you know they dropped to 22nd this season?
Well, it's interesting, and a couple things are really interesting, including airplane travel. And we'll get into that in the 12 o'clock hour. Apparently, some players are disgruntled that coaches sit in first class and they don't. And we'll get into the dynamics of that because I have a solution to that.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
22nd out of 32, so it's all over Twitter now. But yeah, we'll talk about it later on.
All right, so you are listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, and we are doing it from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, it's noontime, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your lunch as you sit down and listen or watch the great Ray Dunn spin his tales on the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, Ray, what do we have today on the news at noon?
All right, we'll start with some media crime here. Colin Cowherd, not happy with the current state of NBA media. Says it's almost a PR firm. And in a much longer rant that has been condensed down for time, he praises your boy Charles Barkley, praises the Inside the NBA group, and criticizes his former employer. Here's Colin Cowherd on the state of NBA media.
NFL media is tough. NFL media criticizes rookies, they criticize coaches, they criticize players. It's very similar to the way the media in the UK treats the English Premier League. It's vicious. And our football media is grown-ups, and they're tough, and they hammer everybody. Our basketball media, college and pro, is very soft and overwhelmingly tries to curry favor with the stars. Barkley is the only, Barkley and Shaq and that show are the only show that holds players and load management accountable. By and large, the NBA media, because everybody's trying to curry favor with, Rich Paul, and he's very, very, very talented, and they're trying to curry favor with the stars and the top agents, very little critical media. I've stopped bringing on certain NBA reporters who are good people, but it's all fluff. I want a show that is hard and has teeth and bites into the players. They're not PR firms. My job isn't to be a PR guy. Barkley's the opposite of that. Now, is Barkley too critical? Certainly can argue that. But if you take that show out, ESPN, mostly fluff, mostly pro player, pro NBA, everything's great, and it's not. I'm not saying everybody on ESPN is, but the broadcasts sometimes feel like it's owned by the teams. It's like, guys, it's okay to criticize players. I think Barkley and Shaq they're the outlier.
Colin Cowherd says a lot of stupid crap, but he's right on about that. He is absolutely 100% right on. Now, ESPN is more partial to the business relationships with leagues than networks. Most other networks are, especially like TNT is like, they can't stop Charles Barkley. And so I'm sure the league is not happy with a lot of stuff he says, but he says it anyway, and they back him. ESPN, I think Colin Cowherd is exactly right. They pander a lot to these agents and these relationships they have with the leagues.
Yeah, especially he talked about Rich Paul, Clutch Sports. Shams gets fed every single report. Like, he gets the Luka Anthony Davis trade, and they would rather have that than be critical of teams and players. They want to get the breaking news. So I don't know how you fix
right.
it, though.
But Colin got to realize that the media world has changed. I mean, like I'm more of that what he's just described, and we have relationships with teams, and I'll be critical of them, and they don't like it. But I go in order for me to be as honest as I can with the audience, because the audience really is my master here. I can't pander. I've got to be on the side of the audience more than I'm on the side of the team. The team's not paying me.
Yesterday, it would have been disingenuous if we came on here and tried to sugarcoat what happened with the Sixers. Like we had to rip the Sixers yesterday.
Yeah, I mean it was embarrassing, and that's why I said like I was even disappointed with the people who announced the game yesterday. You know, there comes a point in time where you can't make fools of your audience. And I think that was a game where they could have been a lot more exacerbated with that whole situation, or exhausted with the whole situation.
But Stephen A. seems to be critical, though.
Yeah, he does. He's probably the only one that does it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 2.
All right, keeping it with hoops, we're going to college hoops here, and this crazy public address announcer, Prairie View A&M, has a public address announcer that deserves his own highlight reel, I think, but they gave him a soundboard, and that also gives him a range of possibilities that makes every three sound something incredible. Take a listen to this example.
Bush, he'll stop and spot from the three-point shot. Looks good, yeah.
Bush shooting at 50% from the three-point line tonight.
Donald Carroll.
That's just a random three in the middle of the game.
You see Ray Dunn broadcasting the game being distracted by the sound drops and screams. Ray, how would you handle that as a broadcaster?
He's a true professional.
I think I'd be fine with that. The one thing that does get me, they now are using my calls on like the video board, like promo videos, and that kills me because I don't like hearing myself while I'm trying to talk. Because I'm critiquing myself on the board as I'm trying to talk myself. Everything else I can kind of block out.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you let that moment breathe? Because they talked over it. Would you let the soundbite breathe and let it get the full effect for the audience and then, come back on and talk? Because they talk.
I feel like they're used to it.
Over it.
I think they're used to it.
I think you got to let it breathe, though. If that guy does that, you got to let it breathe.
But if he does it every three?
Well, you got to let it breathe a little bit. There's a three. Good. And then you let it breathe.
If it's a buzzer beater, I let it breathe. That's like right in the middle of the game.
All right. Number 3.
All right, last one. Liam Cohen, we had the Duval Classic from him.
Yeah.
He was asked, and it's just uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't see Florio and Chris Sims as the joking type, so they tried to make a joke of it with him. And this is how they address Liam Cohen and trying to give him a do-over in his Duval comment earlier when he got named head coach of the Jags.
Did you have any idea as the Duval was coming out that it was going to become a thing?
Not at all.
Duval.
I'm a quarterback by nature. Everybody's got a different cadence. I'm learning that cadence.
I love it.
And I'm excited about kind of getting some of that moving forward.
You ready to, you want to do another one? You want to try to
I'm all good.
balance out?
And then Chris Sims drops one.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen came up in a conversation that I had yesterday at a notary public.
He looks like he could be Ray Dunn's older brother.
Oh, you want to hear my story?
I do.
All right, so I had to get this thing notarized and get 2 witnesses. So I go to the bank because I'm dealing with this bank on this home loan. And they have to send it through their portal. So I've got to sign one more thing, and it's got to be notarized. So I go into the bank, and they go, well, you need 2 witnesses. I go, what am I going to do, click my fingers and produce 2 witnesses? Like, I'm just here to, I wasn't aware of that. Yes, it says 2 witnesses. I said, can't you get your bank tellers to do it? And they go, no, that would not be proper for us. So I go to the line, people in line. And I said, ma'am, would you do me a favor? Could you witness this and put your signature on it that you witnessed? She goes, yeah, I'll do it. Next person, now I need 2. Next person like goes, no, I'm not interested.
They were reluctant.
I'm not interested, she says to me. I go, you don't have to be interested. I said, I'm just saying I want you to stand there.
I don't want what you're selling, sir.
And witness this. She wouldn't do it. So I had to leave the bank, and I went to a notary public where it's an auto tag place. Guy's a really nice guy. I'm having a real conversation with him. He goes, I can get 2 witnesses for you. I got a guy coming in picking up auto tags, but I'll go right next door to Ripplewood, which is this bar and restaurant I go to a lot. He goes, the chef's there. It's a really good guy. He's a former football player. And I go, oh, all right. His name's Biff. So the guy comes and pick up his auto tag. Biff's come in. I got the two things. We get into a conversation. He goes, I played at UMass. He goes, my quarterback was Liam Cohen.
Interesting.
How about that?
That is interesting. Look at that. Ties right into the news at noon.
Look at that tie-in. 610-632-0975.
Did he also say, I'm going to make like a tree and get the hell out of here?
Huh?
His name was Biff.
Oh.
You get that reference?
Yeah, that's what is that? That's Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Good job, Mike. Ray, you've seen that one, right?
I have seen that one.
There we go.
It's Mike Missanelli. It was Biff is obviously his nickname because he didn't write Biff.
He didn't sign it, Biff?
He didn't sign.
He doesn't just like share?
He didn't sign it, Biff. I forgot what his first name was. The Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Tyrone Johnson.
Nick Sirianni clearly had the guys.
Foles, baby, Foles. As in Nick Foles. Push text. Flooding our system. People want a piece of me. Let me read from my good friends, my fans on Twitter. My own Twitter account, which is MikeMiss25. Paulie Black. You ever get the...
Yeah, Paulie Black.
Paulie Black.
Yeah, he trolls a little bit.
I've been listening to you, Mike Miss25, for a long time. I've agreed and disagreed with you on various topics. And even when I disagree, you made solid, respectable arguments. This time, your tush-push take is the biggest load of tripe I've ever heard you say. And he gives me a meme of a gif of a pile of horse manure.
Pretty well said. Pretty well said by Paulie Black.
And my retort to him was, obviously, you don't understand the immutable laws of physics.
So I got some more tweets towards you. I like this one from Derek. Suddenly, Mike is against using the rules to your advantage. 3 weeks ago, he was defending Patrick Mahomes for flopping.
I didn't defend him for flopping.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Your exact words were, he's taking advantage of the rules.
He's taking advantage by slowing up with an oncoming defender who then he absorbs the hit and then he flops out of bounds. That's strategic. That's not a trick.
It is
It's strategic.
It's an unfair advantage for the quarterback.
How many times did I use the example when you play pickup basketball? You got to somebody's trailing you on the play, and you slow up so he runs in and you get at a foul line. That's the same thing.
Not in this situation.
It is the same exact thing. Listen, I would really just have you say I'm an Eagle fan and I'm biased before you tweet.
I don't think that it's bias.
Total bias.
I don't think that it's bias. I just think that it's ridiculous. One, to keep saying that the play's unstoppable, which that's not true because it's not 100%.
It's almost 100%.
It's not. It's about 14% of the time it gets stopped this year. They were 86%. The quarterback sneak in general has a high success rate. So, yes, the push does help. I'm not one of these people who says, oh, the push doesn't help at all. The push certainly does help. But I don't think that when people say, and you've said this argument, it's not a football play, I don't agree with that. I think it is a football play. You're not trying to trick your opponent. You're not trying to do anything that is not within the rules. It's the same way that two defensive players can try to push a runner back or bring that runner to the ground. You're doing the same thing offensively.
Yeah, you're wrong. All right, so let's get one more. Go ahead, tush push text.
Mike, you aren't making any sense.
There you go.
Football's doing anything you can until someone gets you
anybody
down.
on there who's smart enough to understand physics? But give me this one first, and then find one smart enough.
Okay, I just clicked out of that one.
Sorry about that. No, that's not. I'll take them all. I just want to see if there's anybody who's understanding what I'm trying to say here.
Let's see. Every time Bill. Nope.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to defend me.
Just give me. All right, pile on me then. Just give me a couple pile-ons.
Pile on me.
And then
if the tush push is just physics, why can Josh Allen and the Bills not use physics and use the same play as the Eagles?
And went 0 for 4. 0 for 4.
They didn't do it the right way. You got to use physics the right way. Physics just doesn't happen.
Exactly.
You got to apply it.
But when you say that, when you talk about running the play successfully, using physics successfully, it's the same way. Mike, a back shoulder pass is unstoppable if it's run successfully. If it's run the right way, should they stop it? No back shoulder throws. Can't do it.
Yeah, that's one-on-one.
Nah.
It's one-on-one ball.
Tom Brady, you're not going to be able to do that. We're going to eliminate those stats.
One-on-one ball, which is the nature of football. It's one-on-one duels like that. So it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You come up.
Yeah, but you keep going with this one-on-one.
You come up with the worst examples ever.
Because Mike, you keep going with the one-on-one. There are double teams in football. There are plays that are not one-on-one.
Double teams.
It's not one-on-one and a tackle every time.
Double teams are not 700-pound physics.
100% they are.
They're not
when Jordan
jacks.
Mailata and Landon Dickerson are double teaming somebody on the left side of the line, I think that's 700 pounds of torque, as you love to say.
Are you being homerish here?
I don't think I'm being homerish at all.
I think you are.
I think I'm being a football. You just don't understand football. How about that, Ray? It's
here we go. We got a Mike agreeing
right.
text.
It's just football. I'm going to give you your baseball argument.
So
when
I give you the physicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you disregard that.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to say that physics. Certainly. It's the same thing as saying when Jordan Mailata gets out to the open field and blocks a 100-pound corner.
Ray's got a pro mic.
We got a pro mic text. Eric and PA. Mike, you are exactly correct about the tush push, although I don't know if you're explaining it correctly. You keep referring to 100 or 700 pounds of torque, but Eagles fans don't think that's an advantage because you have opposing weight on the other side. The disadvantage is the offense knows exactly what the play is. Their concentration is 100% focused on tush push, so they can use 11 players to push forward. The defense is 75% focused on tush push. They have to account for a fake or trick play. If the offense has to announce the play, and therefore they're committed to doing only that play, the defense can match with their 11 players in the box, and that would make it more fair. The offense still has the advantage of timing the push, but they have the advantage on every play anyways. The Eagles have perfected it because they invented the play. They realized it was an advantage and spent a lot of time practicing it. Other teams are slow to catch on, and they haven't spent enough time practicing it yet. If the play sticks around, give it 5 years before every team does it better.
All right, that's a very good explanation. However, he's missing the most obvious one. Now, let's I'll try to put it in these terms. You got a car, and you start the car. The car is running. You've got 5 meatheads on the other side of that car, or just say there's 5 bills on the other side of the car, and you start the car, and you don't know when the car's starting. So the car starts to move first. The meatheads are trying to hold the car back. Who's going to win that?
Every one of your physics arguments. I'm not saying that your physics is wrong. I'm saying that it doesn't make...
Who's going to win that? The car has started first. It's pushing first. Are the meatheads going to be able to hold that car back?
Probably not. But then that defeats your whole argument.
Doesn't defeat it. It enhances it.
Then why does the offense ever get to have their own cadence? It should be, all right, guys, it's going to be like a race. We're going to blow the whistle and everyone go at once. Like, you can't say that they have an unfair advantage because they know the play's coming. They know every play is coming. Every single time.
Talking about in this particular thing, what enhances physics is the start.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about a double team. You could say the same thing about a normal QB sneak or any sort of play. The offense has the advantage knowing the cadence. They know when the count's going to happen.
You take physics at your fancy private school?
I did. I took it senior year of high school.
You did?
What is it?
Would you flunk it?
No, what is it? What's the speed of gravity? 9.8 meters per second, something like that? Something like that.
610-632-0975. Back into this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks to the promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine. As the football world descends upon Indianapolis, we got a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman yesterday. Sirianni's availability open, but the question about the promotion of Kevin Patullo to offensive coordinator, and here's why he believes Patullo is the right man for the job.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity, the word of the day. Sirianni and Roseman be down at the NFL Combine through next Monday in the lead up to April's NFL Draft. 76ers return to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Flyers won their 3rd game in a row last night, crushed the Penguins 6-1. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow against those same Penguins. Phillies won yesterday in Grapefruit League action as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour in 2 scoreless innings, and Edmundo Sosa drove in 2 runs. Bryce Harper is in the lineup as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays today at 1:07. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Next Mike Missanelli show. Thanks for joining us today. You're getting a full show here. But you're even getting discussions on physics. Would you be getting this on another show like Nerd Boy and the Ex-Eagle show? You wouldn't be getting that, would you?
Nerd Boy.
Would you be getting this kind of detail?
I don't know
and
what
discussion on Nerd Boy and the Ex-Eagle?
I don't know what you're getting over there because I wouldn't tune in.
All right. Report cards.
Oh, man, these report cards.
All right, now the Eagles came out 22nd, graded by their own people.
22nd, graded by their own people, and they finished 4th last season. So this is a big drop for them.
All right, they got an F in a particular category, Bill. What was that F in?
They did. Let me just first say A- for the head coach. Just throwing it out there. All right, Nick Sirianni.
A-.
A-. They got an F for team.
They give their head coach a minus. What is that about, Ray?
Well, here's what it says.
Where's the minus come in?
I'll read it.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
93% of Eagles players feel their head coach, Nick Sirianni, is efficient with their time. The players feel that Sirianni is moderately receptive to locker room feedback on the team's needs, ranking him 18 of 32 head coaches in the league.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa! What is that about?
So even though he got an A-, it was 18th. The owner, Jeffrey Lurie, got a B, which was 16th. But where they came in with a big, fat F, team travel. And the main reason, players feel they should get first-class seats on team flights instead of the coaching staff.
All right, let's ferret this out. First of all, it's a charter, right?
Yes.
Well, how many first-class seats are on the charter that they would take? I would assume there'd be a lot of them.
You think so?
Yeah,
on the charter flight?
For a professional team?
What do you think's a lot? 15?
All right, let's just say there are 15.
Right? Because if it's 7 rows.
5 rows of 3.
5 rows of 3. I was thinking 7 rows of 2.
Yeah, 7 rows. All right, 7 rows 2. That'd be 14.
How do you give that to?
All right, so anyway, yeah, that was an odd number. You can't.
Yeah, 15 wouldn't be possible. It's got to be an even number.
All right, so let's just say that that's the case. I have the solution to it because I agree with the players. Why should the coaches get first-class tickets? Really, the players are the ones that are putting their lives on the line every day, so they should get rewarded. Now, if there's only limited number of first-class tickets, I would ferret it out this way. The players who graded the highest in the game get priority on the first class. There would only be 4 spots that involved the coaching staff, and here's what they would be. Sirianni, Big Dom, because they're tied at the hip, would have to sit together.
Well, and Big Dom probably needs a bigger seat.
Right. And the 2 coordinators. 4. That's it. That's all they get.
And then you would give 10 to the players.
To the players who graded the highest. Now, it's an incentive.
Yeah, I am kind of agreeing with you and the players here because you're right. They're the ones that need to be comfortable. It's not like the coaches need to be, like their legs need to be physically ready to go when they get to wherever they're going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, or
special teams coach Clay back with the Hogs. He doesn't get it. Sorry.
Or Howie Roseman should just buy a plane or 2 and refit it so that everybody gets a nice seat.
Do we really think that this is your run-of-the-mill Boeing?
Yeah, it's a big plane.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's like customed out.
I think I don't know. I see. This is very weird. I thought they were custom. That these charters were custom out for football players. Like
there's more. There's more about the team travel. 43% of the Eagles players believe they have a comfortable amount of personal space on team flights. That ranks them 30 out of 32.
Wow.
The players feel that their team's travel schedule is not very efficient. A rank of 26 out of 32. So, yeah, I don't know what the planes are like.
What are they taking? That Cleveland Indians plane from Major League? what, the duct tape around a propeller?
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can get pictures of the Eagles team plane.
Sounds like they got Costanza as the traveling secretary.
I mean, it's a U.S. Airways.
It's a Ted Danson's plane.
I think it's just a regular plane.
Wow.
All right. Where else did they finish?
That's
bad.
That's weird.
All right, they also finished C- in treatment of families because they're one of they are only one of 3 teams that do not provide daycare during home games.
What?
So they want daycare during home games.
Come on, Jeffrey. What's going on? I thought he was supposed to be a great owner. No daycare?
All right, they did get an A- for food and their dining area. D+ for their locker room. 73% of players feel they have enough room. 57% feel they have adequate room.
This is amazing. Who knew there were all these little problems here with this franchise?
I think that was a problem last year.
I think so, too.
I want to say that was on last year's report.
I mean, that's really the only two areas where they graded below a C.
This doesn't make Jeffrey Lurie look that great, does it?
No, it does not. Now, he got a B as an owner. I told you that. But it's interesting because everything else is pretty good. Like strength coaches, B. Weight room, B. Training staff, B+. Training room, B-. But then the locker room gets a D+. Team travel gets an F.
That's too many Bs also.
That's probably why they finished 22nd. Now, the worst grade, though, the ownership of the New York Jets got an F.
No.
Well,
is that a surprise? No, it's not a surprise. They're the only ownership.
How did Joe Shane make out, Bill?
Well, he's not an owner.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they have a special
the Giants
category
do.
for him.
The Giants owner came in with a C+.
Wow.
Surprisingly, Dave Tepper with the Panthers, D-. That's passing there, Dave.
Yeah. Let's get back to the phones.
I think it's a passing grade, isn't it?
D-.
Maybe not. Maybe you need a C.
I just know C's to get
degrees. You need a
degrees.
C.
Yeah, C's get degrees.
You need 2.0. Rick in Easton joining us. What's up, Rick?
He can sell the team for $4.5 billion, and he can't have his own plane for the team.
No daycare? Come on.
Come on. Definitely, daycare is even more important than that.
Exactly.
Anyway, hey guys, I know you have to be there for your public, but after a while, this whole tush-push thing sounds like paralysis by analysis. This is why they have cigars and brandy. This is why they have the Three Stooges, so we don't act like women. This team has almost 18...
Whoa. Ho. That's a little chauvinistic, don't you think?
I don't care.
We care.
I can be chauvinistic.
We care. You can't be chauvinistic on this show. You're out. Let's go. It was Jordan in Jersey. Jordan, you're on the 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Jordan?
Yo.
What's up?
Now, I've been in that NovaCare a couple of times. The locker room is a little weird because it's like in the middle. It's not as spacious, and there's a lot of college. There's this guy coming from major D1 schools, and they throw a lot of money, and so when they go from that to this on an NFL scale, it's probably like put a little bit more money into the complex and the plane. But
yeah, you know what this means, John? Or excuse me, Jordan?
What's up?
This means Jeffrey Lurie's going to push the city soon for that new stadium that they keep rumoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, look, we need new facilities.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not that hard to do, honestly. Like it's little touches in there, but either way, what I was going to say was the tush push stuff. I like it. I don't care. Mike, you're entitled to your opinion. It's not about you. It's more so I think the NFL coaches are soft in their approach and saying like, it's not fair, and we want to get it banned. And on ESPN today, they were saying that you shouldn't be allowed to push somebody. In football, they tell you to push the pile ever since you're in Little League and all the way up. They want linemen that are going to push their guy from the 2-yard line into the end zone.
Their guy. You just said the key phrase. Their guy. They want to push their guy. This is 700 pounds of it's not part of football when you torque it up where you have a truck behind somebody to push them because you have the advantage. That's not football, Jordan.
I hear what you're saying. We did a lot of things that it was just like, hey, we're heavier on this side, so we're going to do X, Y, and Z. I was one of the bigger linemen, and so they would have us do certain things. They had me in fullback at certain formations. So it's just like it is what it is, and I hear what you're saying, but I think that if it was something that if you had like a 7-foot receiver and they just kept lobbing it to him, that's like, all right, bro, like we can't do anything about that. This is something that every team has an opportunity to try, and there's not like the Eagles' offensive line isn't astronomically larger than other linemen.
Yes,
it's not ridiculous.
Well, they are. First of all, they're the biggest line in the league.
They're big, but they're not out of range. If you have
they're not out of range, but they're the biggest line in the league, pound wise.
So I just don't see a problem with it, man. I like it, and also
we should ban that too. Then, if they're the biggest line, we should put a weight limit on the offensive line.
That's fair. That's one guy going against another guy.
No, I think for it to be fair, there should be a weight limit on the offensive line.
I'm tired of you.
Yeah, we shouldn't be able to have too much poundage.
Go ahead, Jordan. What else you got?
What what you said about ESPN, or what they said about ESPN and Fox and Colin Cowherd, I don't like him at all. But what they were saying is true. They have to be a little timid. Like Stephen A. will call out Brian Windhorst sometimes. He's like, that was cowardly that you didn't speak out against LeBron. Like these guys, they won't speak out. Just like for the great majority.
No, you're right, because if they speak out, they won't get fed the information. Let me give you a general knowledge question here.
Yeah.
General knowledge is a movie character for you. The movie character is Marcellus Wallace. Oh, you know Marcellus Wallace, huh?
It sounds like it's from like Any Given Sunday or something.
No, man. No. Come on, man. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to give Ray a shot.
Marcellus Wallace. Pulp Fiction.
Who's that actor that plays him?
Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
All right, Ray. You get a TV spot. Jesse Pinkman.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. You were a Breaking Bad guy.
Oh, my God.
Let's not get crazy.
You didn't watch it?
I watched some of it.
He gets Jesse Pinkman.
But not Tyrion Lannister.
By word of mouth. Wait, couldn't get Tyrion Lannister.
Courtesy of roommates that are more cultured than I am.
It's a great show.
What's the tally? Did he take
I think
the
it's
lead
3-3, if I'm not mistaken. 3-3, Ray? Is that what you got?
Yes, 3-3.
3-3.
And remember, these are for expensive tickets.
The prize is Sixers tickets against the Golden State Warriors.
Which is an expensive ticket right now in the city, Saturday night.
Chance to see Stephen and Jimmy. Oh, I miss Jimmy. Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Wednesday, February 20th.
12:42, Mike Missanelli Show, General Knowledge Wednesday. Ray's tied with the audience right now, but the next category he's got an edge maybe is the three-point shooting category. Let's go back to the text board with the tush pushes that are destroying me today. My own personal Twitter feed, the two I'm getting destroyed. My ex feed. Go ahead, Ray. Hit me with more.
Do you know what? I want them to ban the tush push so we could kick everyone's ass this year and win the Super Bowl again and prove we could do it without it. Then what are they going to say?
See, I like that. That's a good one. You don't need no damn tush push. Beat him straight up.
Yeah, I obviously don't think they should ban it, but it would be interesting to see how successful the Eagles would be even without the push part of the tush push.
Yeah.
Well, just with Jalen behind the offensive line, I think would still be very close to just as successful.
What we learned today is that even though they won the Super Bowl, players are miserable.
Well,
the accommodations aren't.
We should be asking the question.
Aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Is the run to a repeat now going to be stopped by the internal dissentment?
Internal strife.
Well, it sounds like everything else was graded high except for the locker room.
Don't let the facts get in the way of good narrative.
The B's part of it bothered me. Like, you think B's a good grade? Well, maybe for you it was a good grade. But
Yeah. Dude, a B?
Hey, Eustace.
B's are for me. No, I guess you're right. They came in 22nd, but John Kincade just texted me, and he's right. Like, these guys coming out of the SEC that went to Georgia and Alabama and LSU, those types of teams, I mean, those facilities blow the Eagles out of the water.
How many people came out of those programs that are on the Eagles roster?
Quite a few.
Like, how many? What's the number? It can't be the majority number.
Like, I'm sure the Quinyon Mitchells of the world who came out of Toledo have no problem.
Well, that's what I mean. So
let's see.
It can't be the majority number of a 53-man roster. They all came out of Georgia and Alabama.
All right, I'm reading. So you got Saquon's out of Penn State. Zach Baun out of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's probably got nice facilities. Mekhi Becton out of Louisville. Reed Blankenship, Middle Tennessee State. Yeah, this is an upgrade. Who else you got? A.J. Brown, Mississippi.
You can go through the whole roster. You won't find a majority of people that came out of these great digs.
All right. Here we go. Just this. We got Ohio State.
All right, great digs.
Georgia, Penn State, Georgia, Texas Tech, Georgia, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Penn State, Auburn, Memphis. I wonder if Memphis has nice facilities.
They all have nice facilities. He's
Florida.
Like the Cadillacs are the Georgias and the Alabamas.
Yeah, I'm sure Florida.
Penn State's all right. It's not great.
Michigan, Baylor, Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, Nebraska. I mean, there's a lot of big schools that I'm sure have unbelievable facilities.
Unbelievable facilities. But and I get it. So that's influencing their grade on the Eagles facilities. I mean, the Eagles facilities can't be terrible.
Well, NovaCare. How long's NovaCare been there now? It's been there for a while, right?
It's a long time.
And the link has surprisingly been there for a while.
Yeah.
I think NovaCare was built in 2001.
So they need a new stadium and a new practice facility is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think that's coming. I'm going to be shocked if they don't have a new stadium within the next 10 years.
Think that was part of that deal with the Sixers and the Flyers brass?
Well, it was interesting because wasn't Goodell involved?
He was. He got involved somehow. Maybe.
Maybe a whole new facility.
Speaking of hockey, it's time for the
Ray!
time for the 30 seconds.
Hit it, Ray! Oh, yeah, baby! Oh, I love it. Our 30 seconds of hockey talk. The Fly Guys last night with a big win over the hated Pittsburgh Penguins, 6-1. How about Bobby Brink with a 4-point night? Owen Tippett with a couple goals. Michkov getting on the board as well. That's 3 wins in a row, 2 since the break. They put up 6 goals in both games since the break. Watch out. Watch out. Hit it again, Ray. One more time.
Oh, my God.
Let's go, Flyers. He shows he score. Michkov on the break. He shows he score.
When did the Penguins become the stink team? What happened to that?
Those guys are getting old, man.
Scared my dog with that. She ran over.
did.
My dog ran over to me.
Poor Shima. Sorry, Shima. I'm just doing my best. Tim Saunders, I should say. Tim Saunders. He shows he scores. The Flyers had the lead.
That's more insulting than anything Mike said about the Sixers organization.
My dog's tilting her head like a man.
Couturier looks. He passes over to Michkov. Michkov back to Turner. He scores!
Again, this is the worst thing that's ever been done to a partner on this show.
Why? I think it's great. I think it's great.
All right.
Do you want me to do the other guy?
Let's get back.
He's at the 35, 30, 25.
No, I want you to do the TV guy.
Oh, Jim Jackson.
Hey, score, but no call.
No
call.
call.
Score to go, but no call. All right.
Tonight's Flyers hockey is brought to you by
John in Norwood. John, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. John.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's up, John?
How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe I missed part of this, but like, why you're so against the tush push? I get your 700 pounds of torque, but I think you're missing the main point. Like you're saying, every team can do it, but they're not successful at it because, I mean, think of this. You're around the early 80s when the Eagles had like Kevin Allen and, Bernard Williams or whoever, the fireman guy from Canada. You think that the play's going to work? They have those three guys in front? No. Like, you need to draft the players, build the offensive line to get anything done, really. So I don't know about your 700.
What are you oblivious to the fact that they stack up guys behind the quarterback to help push those offensive linemen?
Well, you're a physics guy, right? You keep saying that. Like, what stops momentum?
What stops momentum?
Yeah.
Well, equal momentum. However, when the momentum starts first, you're at a disadvantage in stopping the momentum. If they are up at the same time, yeah, but they don't know the snap count.
The offense can't start first; it'd be a full start. So the defense can run up.
You're missing my point. They know what the snap count is, so they get off the ball quicker.
Yeah, well, look what happened in the Washington game. And it just count.
John, I love the fact that you're an Eagle fan, but please, come on. You like the twist
I don't like
because it works for the Eagles. John?
I don't like the play. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I remember the Bush push. So I'm not really big on the play, but
you just talk for 2 minutes about how you like the play.
I don't like the play. I'm just debating you on it. That's all.
All right. Okay.
You're a lawyer. You can understand that.
All right, I got you. All right, here's your general knowledge question, brother. You ready? 3-point contest winners. In 2019, this Caucasian shooter for the Brooklyn Nets won the 3-point shooting contest.
What the heck is his name? Joe Harris.
Correct.
That's a good job.
That pull by John from Norwood. Joe Harris.
That was a good job by him.
That was a really good.
Out of where? What school? Virginia Cavaliers. Did you know that, Bill?
I did not.
Ray? It's time for your question. Ray, in 2014, another white man won the 3-point shooting contest from the San Antonio Spurs.
Ooh, white man from the Spurs.
And he has a Sixer connection.
White man from the Spurs with the Sixers connection. Who's trying to think of that 2014 championship team. We're over time, so I really have to guess. Man, this is going to bother me. This is going to bother me for a good long time.
Take a guess, Ray.
All right, thank you.
Clock's ticking.
Hey, Bill. I appreciate it. No, you see, I could go to you for help, but it would be no help because I used to have you for a lifeline, and I know you're no lifeline here. So shut it. All right.
I got both of you. Tell me to shut up. To them.
All right. It's not Corver, but I'm going to say Corver.
It's not Corver.
That would have been my guess too.
But the Sixer key player, when they had two guys that came off the bench, the two foreigners, one of them, Marco Bellinelli.
Wow, he won the 3-point contest.
That is correct.
Ray's very upset with himself.
He is very upset. Marco Bellinelli. And I think he's from Bologna. 610-632-0975. Ray's walking around out there. He's
very upset.
He's ticked off. The Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
I'm never getting over that. I'll read about the Eagles thing. Yeah, I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine. Football world's out there in Indianapolis. And yesterday, Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman got a chance to speak with the media. Of course, Nick Sirianni was going to be asked about his good buddy, Kevin Patullo, the promotion of him to the offensive coordinator. Here's what Sirianni had to say about the promotion.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity is the word of the day. Sirianni and Roseman at the NFL Combine, which runs through next Monday in the lead up to April's NFL Draft. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, the 76ers return to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5. The Fanatic. Flyers won their third in a row, crushing the Penguins 6-1 last night. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow against those same Penguins. Phillies won yesterday as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour, 2 scoreless innings, and Mundo Sosa drove in 2 runs. Bryce Harper in the lineup today as the Phillies travel to play the Blue Jays at 1:07. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Ed Code Radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn in the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:57. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today on General Knowledge Wednesday. We're having a little fun. The audience has the edge right now based on Marco Bellinelli. I had him on the air once when he would come off the bench and fire. And he was telling me about how he's from Bologna. And that's north, right? That's a little upscale.
Is it northern?
It's Italian upscale. The people in southern Italy always complain about the elitism that goes up in the north, where Milan is, Bologna,
and the north
Genoa,
is more.
I believe
the northern Italians are more fair-skinned, blue eyes.
Yes, they're lighter.
Yeah, I think the most north I've ever been in Italy is Venice. I haven't been more north than that.
I'm a southern Italian.
Same.
So
I got family from Sicily, too.
The elitism rubs me the wrong way as well. So
the elitism. When was the last time you were?
I'm not fair-skinned.
When was the last time you were in Italy?
I went to Italy. Took my daughter on a trip to Rome, and met my cousin Filippo Missanelli.
Filippo Missanelli.
I got all kinds of relatives in Italy. I got one guy's in the Milan Orchestra. Filippo met us, speaks perfectly English, met us at the, we took a train to Florence. He lives in Florence. Took a train from Rome to Florence. Filippo, first time I ever met him. Nice guy. Took us around, hung out, slept at his flat.
I got engaged in Florence 2 summers ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful jewelry stores there in Florence. Did you buy the ring there?
I did not. On that bridge?
Yes.
Yes, I did not, though. I brought the ring with me, which I was nervous. I was waiting for a meet the parents moment where they were going to take my carry-on. I had the ring.
The first or one or two?
My wife now.
Oh, okay.
My wife now.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I proposed in Florence. It was nice.
Oh. See, Ray? My man, he's got a romantic streak. He may seem like a meathead, but he's got a romantic streak to him.
You see that, Ray?
You impressed? A little romance in Florence.
So impressed. Incredibly impressed.
Yeah, we flew into Venice, and then we went Venice, Florence, back down to Rome.
Did you go take a canal ride?
Yes, we did the gondolier.
Oh, how romantic.
I was contemplating proposing on the gondolier, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait.
Were you smoochy on the gondolier?
Yeah, but I think my wife thought that our gondolier was attractive. We got a picture of me and her, and I think she's more trying to get the picture of the gondolier driver. Was that what they were called? They're called the gondolier, right?
Yeah, the guy with what are
they
called? The oarsman, or whatever he's called.
So you were worried about losing her to him?
No, I wasn't worried, but that's what we joke about it.
Well, anyway, it's 1 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. I did that from. I don't have to read that anymore. Did you notice that?
Oh, you did it by memory.
You haven't noticed that? I haven't been reading it.
So impressed. It only took you, what was this, 6 weeks, right?
Ooh.
I think I had it on day 2.
Oh, okay, Mr. Memory.
I have to sit here.
Did you have? Oh, you
I
have.
I have it memorized, and I got to sit here, him shuffling through papers trying to find it.
How come you didn't chime in any time?
I could. I just don't want to step on your toes.
Right now. Let them know who they're listening to, Bill.
You're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibility.
Well, he did.
How about that?
That was nice. Good
right on the spot.
Yes, yeah. All right, let's start. Let's start the 1 o'clock hour. Actually, I want to hear some sound because we got away from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman press conferences and all that. So, okay, one of the things that you're looking at in the offseason. First of all, Bill, he said something to Zach Berman about expectations for rebuilding this team. So yes. I want to start off with that because that wasn't part of the sound that we heard, but I thought it was a very telling statement because I think he's saying, hold off, don't stay on me, we'll get it done, but I'm just telling you that things might be a little bit different this coming off season, so be patient with me.
Yeah, so here's the quote that was made to some of the beat reporters before he took the podium. Quote, it may look different. Some of the moves that we may have to make here may not be what are necessarily on other people's minds. It's probably not going to look like maybe the conventional wisdom thinks it should look. I would just ask our fans to have patience throughout the offseason. The offseason doesn't stop in free agency. The offseason doesn't stop in the draft, close quote.
All right.
So he's asking for patience.
He's asking for patience. Now, of course, one of the big things, if not the major thing, signing Zach Bond. So, he first talked about Bond getting more from Bond than the Saints did, but he was very careful not to implicate the Saints for misusing him or not using him enough or whatever. So here's what he had to say about Zach Bond.
I don't really think that's fair to say about the Saints. Obviously we're playing in a different system. They did a great job, but they traded up in the draft to go select him in the third round. He was a player that everyone did a lot of work on coming out of Wisconsin. You knew what kind of tools he had in his body. You knew what intangibles he had, and he was looking for an opportunity to play. When you bring in a new defense coordinator like we did with Vic and looking at some of the guys that he had success with and seeing some parallels there, and then you got to give a tremendous amount of credit to Zach and the work that he did playing a new position for the first time in the NFL. Our coaching staff, making sure he was put in a great position to make plays, and obviously really proud of all those people.
All right, there you go. Now, he was then asked, well, you haven't really paid linebackers in the past, so here's his quick answer to that.
To kind of put us in a box and say, hey, we're not going to pay because historically we haven't done that. I mean, part of what we do is evolve and look at things and see how things are affecting our team, how things are affecting the league, and seeing our place in that.
All righty.
They're going to re-sign Zach Bond. They are. And even last week when Jeff McClain from the Inquirer put out his stay or go, he had Bond going. He just tweeted out an article that he wrote a couple hours ago. Re-signing Zach Bond is an Eagles priority ahead of free agency per sources and contrary to how this bonehead saw it a couple weeks ago. So people are telling him they're going to sign Zach Bond. There's no doubt in my mind he will be the priority.
All right. Well, they're going to have to pay a linebacker more than they've ever paid, and if they're content to do that, that's okay by me. All right, let's move on to the head coach, Little Nicky Sirianni. And
put some respect on his name.
There was a mob guy named Little Nicky Scarfo.
I remember.
So yeah, so I just
Little Nicky Scarfo. Didn't he battle with Joey, Skinny Joey?
No.
Or were they together?
No, that was before Skinny Joey.
Gotcha. Who'd Skinny Joey battle with?
I don't know.
I thought it was. Anyway, we digress.
Oh, Scarfo battled, but he was like he battled with a lot of people. I forget. I saw that episode on Mob Wars or whatever, Mafia Wars. But in any event, Nick Sirianni explaining why his choice of an offensive coordinator is the right man for the job. Now, I think that this is a friendship thing, and they allow him to do it. Not saying that he might not be the right man at all, but I really think they gave Nick a bone here. And he had no choice but to promote Kevin Patullo, who's been tied at him at the hip for many years. So here's why Kevin Patullo is the right man for the job, according to Nick Sirianni.
I picked Kevin out of the people that we interviewed because thought he was the best man for the job, first and foremost. And also, I think that when you look at good organizations, in college football, professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen. We're able to keep continuity for the receivers, AJ and Devontae, the offensive line, the offensive staff. There's a lot to that. Again, as I study great teams and great organizations, when they have guys that they know they can promote from within that are ready to do the job, they do that. Kevin is so ready to do that.
All right. He also said, there's not one decision I've ever made in the building without Kevin Patullo. And really, as you look at last year, particularly the last 4 years, there's not a decision that the coordinator who's in place didn't make without Kevin Patullo as well. I've been with him. Obviously, I trust him. And I've seen him continue to grow as a coach from the moment I've been around him. Well, our eyeballs will be on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably when we look at some of the biggest question marks headed into next season for this team to repeat, how's the offense going to look? Now, I think it's going to look very similar to what you already saw. I think we have a Jalen Hurts offense, but Patullo's going to be calling plays for the first time in his career, and you never know how a guy's going to do with that until he does it. So.
All right, and the granddaddy issue for the day, of course, is the tush push. Sirianni did address that. We'll hear that on the other side. And it's room for your calls. We come down the home stretch of General Knowledge Wednesday, 610-632-0975. The audience with a 1-point lead. Tickets, Sixers versus Golden State Warriors with Steph and Jimmy coming to town. The Mike Missanelli Show continues. 111, Mike Missanelli Show. Couple open lines. You want to get in, play general knowledge. This is the hour to do it. 610-632-0975. Before we get to the phones, though, another hate text towards me. I got to have it now. I'm like a junkie. I need to stick it in my veins for today, Ray.
Yeah, do we still have the hammer sound? Because that's what's been happening to Mike.
Yeah, I'm getting hammered. I like it, though. Sometimes you have to take a beating.
You deserve one.
Everybody takes a beating sometimes, Henry Hill said. So let's see what we got with the beatings.
It's not about how long teams run in practice. All the teams can't do it successfully, Mike. You're missing the real reason why it works. It's about the personnel. Jason Kelsey made this play. He also showed younger players like Dickerson how to do it. Come on, Mike. If this were the 80s, would you find ways to eliminate the Bears' 46 defense or the 49ers' West Coast offense?
Yeah, it's not even the same. I don't know why people keep making stupid analogies. I mean, I'm for a counter argument. I'm all for a counter argument, but not when it's stupid. So I'm out on that. All right. Let's go back to the phones. We got Mike in Hatboro. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike.
Michele.
What's up, Mike?
Buon pomeriggio. All right. First of all, whoever said that they're lighter colored in the north of Italy is a bunch of baloney. So check yourself.
No, that's not true. They're lighter up there.
All right. Whatever. You go about that.
Really? It's not the sun. The sun angle's different.
Tu sei scemigazzo. Anyway, moving forward, listen, it's so full of crap that was. Anyway, you're a good counter, or you say you're up for a good counter argument, but you're kind of Bill. Don't get a big head. You're kind of pounding on Bill a little bit.
Well, because you're coming up with stupid analogies,
hold
like
on,
a back shoulder throw. I mean, what the hell? That's not even close.
I got it. That was inane. Some of his counter arguments are inane. Mamma mia. But Bill, your voice still sucked, but that's a different discussion with the Sirianni love song.
Oh, you didn't like the remix?
All right, all good. Let's get to the tush push. Your point, Mike, is that only you have the right argument, and all counter arguments are because we're all Eagles fans.
Well, it's the truth.
You're an Eagles fan. I mean,
it's the truth.
What are you doing, brother? The other thing is, why do we all walk past one thing? And you've talked about it, all have talked about it, but the other teams can try to do it. Why is it wrong that we are good at it? Everybody walks around that
It's
point.
not wrong because the Eagles do it better than anybody. They should take advantage of it. I'm saying that I don't think it's a football play, and I believe it should be eliminated. That's all I'm saying.
It's called a game of inches.
Mike, admit to me, the reason why you're touting this is because it benefits the Eagles. Just admit that.
No!
Oh, stop it. Oh, you're saving football. You're going to save football by touting the tush push.
Mike, it's called a game of inches. Don't you love that scrum right before the snap where it's like I got Frankie Luva, my boy, doing the flyover at the stadium five times in a row.
This physicist
or who's the Kansas City guy, the famous defensive lineman who laid sideways? I mean, I get that it is advantage because they know the snap count. I agree with that. That does give us a decided advantage.
So the advantage is the decided advantage you just mentioned plus 700 pounds of torque. And you think that's a legitimate football play?
Listen, you guys can take Neil deGrasse Tyson and stick him where the sun don't shine. I could care less about the friggin' physics of it all. All those coaches that are whining like pussies right now, they are all completely against
you see, you can't go that far. You got to control yourself. You can't say certain words.
Yeah, this is getting everybody heated.
You could tell he was working his way up to something.
Yeah, he was.
He was getting heated.
I was going to give him a general knowledge question to make the audience give the audience a better advantage to get the tickets, and he blew it.
I think
one guy was a chauvinist, the other guy said something inappropriate.
Look, you should have dropped Mike when he said that Sirianni Love wasn't a good song.
I was willing to hear him out on that.
I don't know what he was thinking because I got to be honest with you. You know me, I'm honest. If that didn't come out right, I would have said that. Yeah, that came out tremendous.
You were a big fan.
It really was. Anthony in Baltimore, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Anthony.
First off, the Sirianni Love is a great song.
Thank you. Glad you see that.
Yes, sir. And I love you guys, man. Mike, I've been listening to you for over 20 years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been listening to you for a long time.
Put up with me for 20 years? What do you have, a death wish?
I guess so. But I love you, man. And I'm just saying, the tush push, you cannot outlaw it. You cannot outlaw a play that is legally in the game. Seriously.
Well, they can do anything they want. That's why it's under review, brother. It's under review to the point where they're going to eliminate it, maybe.
Well,
they've done it before. You do know that they did. Anthony, you do know that 20 years ago they couldn't do this, right?
Okay. So how about 25 years ago when Tom Brady fumbled the ball and they made a fake rule for him?
Well, what does that have to do with the tush push?
Well,
what they were saying is that kind of play, a football play, was not permitted. That's what they're saying. They're always reviewing stuff, like the horse collar tackle. All that stuff is reviewed.
You're telling me, Mike, that Tom Brady didn't fumble that ball?
No, Tom Brady has nothing to do with our argument here. Come on, brother. Stay with the argument, Anthony.
Okay.
It's apples and oranges we're talking about. We're talking about the tush push. What's Tom Brady come into it?
Okay, no, I do want a general knowledge question, so I do want to stick with the argument. So
all right.
I'm not one of those failed, callers.
Okay, all right, here we go. Let me give you your general knowledge question. What is rum made from?
Rum made from?
Yes. What is rum made from?
That's a good question. Damn, what is rum made from? I'm not Googling. I'm not doing that.
Well, you gotta give me an answer. You gotta give me an answer, brother.
Yeah. What is rum made from? I'm gonna say rum is made from barley.
Barley is incorrect. It would have to be something sweet.
Yeah. Is it sugar?
It is sugar cane.
Sugar cane. Okay.
About that?
Sugar cane.
Yeah, I know rum is made from. Rum is very sweet.
That's right. And where does this rum mostly come from?
Jamaica, man.
The Caribbean.
Yeah.
Jamaica, because it's easy to grow sugar cane down there.
Makes a lot of sense, right?
Makes a total
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
You ever been to Jamaica, Ray?
I have not, no.
Right. Have you been to the islands?
I have. Yeah.
What islands do you prefer?
Aruba, I went to.
Oh, that's right.
Aruba.
He went this past summer to
a
Aruba.
long trip to Aruba. Isn't that a long flight?
It wasn't too bad. I went for my honeymoon a couple of weeks before Ray.
Why are you getting involved in this?
Because me and Ray, we both went at the same time.
Yeah, it was around the same time.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
A couple weeks apart.
How did that happen? What was that thing about?
Well, we did our honeymoon there, and then Ray went with his family.
Oh. Do you like Aruba?
I did, but I don't understand the obsession that a lot of people have with it. Like
with the Caribbean in general, or with Aruba?
Aruba. I liked it, but I know people who go to Aruba like every single season. Ricky Bo's a big Aruba guy.
I liked it.
I liked it, but I'm not like dying that we have to go back to Aruba.
I've never been to Aruba.
Very good weather, very good food. We had some great meals, beautiful water.
All right.
But I don't know,
Ray, time for your question. I'll be playing the music. Who first appeared in 1938 in Action Comics #1?
Action Comics #1. Who first appeared in that? Superman.
Correct!
It's a good guess, Ray. I would have been my guess.
Right, you're tied with the audience. Oh, man. Again, we got another tension-filled finale on General Knowledge Wednesday on the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni talks Patullo promotion. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's time for the NFL Combine. As the football world descends upon Indianapolis, we get a chance to hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman yesterday. Sirianni's availability opened with a question about the promotion of Kevin Patullo to offensive coordinator, and here's why Sirianni believes he's the right man for the job.
When you look at good organizations, in professional football, continuity is very, very important. And we were able to have a guy in-house that was so ready to do the job that he's going to be asked to do. And we were able to keep continuity for Jalen.
Continuity of the word of the day for Sirianni. The NFL Combine is going to run through next Monday, lead up to April's NFL Draft. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, 76ers return to action tonight against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5. The Fanatic Flyers won their third in a row last night, crushing the Penguins 6-1. They're back in action in Pittsburgh tomorrow against those same Penguins. Phillies won yesterday as Christopher Sanchez touched 98 miles per hour in 2 scoreless innings, and Mundo Sosa drove in 2 runs. Bryce Harper in the lineup today. Phillies getting set to play the Blue Jays this afternoon. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Down the home, the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sometimes you gotta bleed to know.
Mike Missanelli Show, 610-622-0975. That NBA game I gave you a little earlier has gone down a half a point. Celtics at the Pistons tonight was 4.5. It is now 4, going down in the Pistons' favor. I'm on to something here, Billy.
You're taking the points, though.
I'll take the point. They want to give me 4. I'll take them, but I think this could be an outright dub for the Pistons tonight.
Outright. You going, and you're taking Sixers plus 10 tonight?
Is it 10 now?
On FanDuel, I got it at 10. And the Boston...
10 I don't like. 9.5 I like. I don't like the double digit.
On FanDuel, the Boston Celtics are -5.
Can I plead with you not to do it?
What's that?
Don't take
what,
the
Sixers?
Don't take the
No, at 9.5 I was tempted.
They've done enough with your emotions.
I just bet the Pistons.
Okay. You could bet on Tobias.
I bet Matt Befford tonight.
But don't bet on the Sixers. They've done enough to your emotions. I don't want to see them do more to your wallet.
Did you hear yesterday's show?
I mean, I have an idea of how yesterday's show went. I'll be honest with you. I was here Monday. I saw what Paul George said.
I don't think you have any idea how yesterday's show went.
I'm pretty sure I got a good idea. I rolled over yesterday in my hotel bed. I saw the Paul George quote, and I was like, oh, boy. Well, Mike's going to have some fun today. Rolled back over, went to bed.
The nerve of that guy.
Yeah, you knew it. Well, the team that was up by 50 on your Sixers, they're a 9-point dog tonight at home.
Yeah, they're...
Real? Who are they playing?
The Clippers.
They're looking to tank.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Bill, take the next few minutes.
Mike's got to get his bets in.
Take the next few minutes, Bill.
What, you like to...
Oh, you're kidding me. They're going to get smoked. The Clippers will smoke them at that line, that number.
9-point dogs.
The Clippers are going in there, coming off that performance against the Sixers, and they're 9-point dog at home?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going Clip Joy. Jimmy Harden, pick me up tonight, brother.
All right, why don't you do a little SGP? Take the Clippers, the Sixers, and the Pistons. You'll get great odds on that.
Yeah, I don't do that. Suckers do that.
You go straight up.
Yeah. Tom in Alabama. Tom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tommy.
Yo, Mike.
What's
Yo,
up,
Bill.
Tom? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Hey, I understand what you're saying as far as, like, if you're spinning out on, on ice or something with that push where, the quarterback or somebody could get hurt. The problem that I have is with the hypocritism as far as the Packers, their whole deal is defined on the ice bowl, that play. And then the fact that McDermott, his team couldn't make it, so he's against it now all of a sudden. I don't think it would pass anyway. I don't think he could get 24 votes.
Yeah, but you're probably not. But the Packers did it successfully against the Eagles. They used the tush push, so they have some credibility. They used it to their advantage, and they're still against it.
Well, you see, somebody said that as far as their quarterback compared Love. I mean, the reason why the Eagles are far more successful than anybody else is because their quarterback, the Eagles, and their running back, and everybody in that offensive line is staying in the gym lifting weights 2-3 times longer than any of the other teams.
You really think so, huh?
Well,
come on, Tommy. Stop it.
Listen, let me finish real quick. If you go back to Peterson when he was there, remember when the Eagles medical facility was getting a lot of criticism because a lot of people were getting hurt. Well, when Sirianni got there, he basically implemented that all the coaches, assistants, everybody in the building is going to work out every 4 or 5 days a week. And I think it's made a difference. And I think it made a difference with Hurts this year, where he could have had a season-ending injury, but he's got so much muscle on him. Hey, man, muscle is different.
Tom, I get everything you're saying, but come on, man. These NFL teams have these kind of weight training staffs. It doesn't mean the Eagles are stronger than them. Everybody's strong in the NFL. You know that.
Well, the Eagles have worked at the play. I mean,
they have worked at the play, and they do it better than anybody. I get it. I just think it's an unfair football play. That's all.
All right. Well,
all right. Now, would you like to play general knowledge for us or no?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. You want to do it? All right. This is the movie character question. So if I say to you, Johnny Lawrence.
Who's that? Johnny Lawrence?
Johnny Lawrence. What movie?
Or TV show?
Yes.
No clue.
Oh, no come on, man. Wax on, wax off.
The Karate Kid, Tom.
Tommy.
Get out of here.
Tommy, the Karate Kid. No go for Tom.
No mercy.
In Alabama. All right, Ray. Ray, TV character, Dwight Schrute.
Oh, The Office.
Oh, I didn't know he was an office man. You an office man?
Yeah.
You watched The Office?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I wouldn't have given him Dwight Schrute.
Now
He's in at the lead now.
I've seen a lot more episodes of The Office than I've seen of Seinfeld.
That's a violation.
Yeah, he might want to.
Beyond belief.
That might be the thing
because
that bothers him the most you've said.
Yeah, I've never watched Seinfeld, and I've probably seen maybe 10, 15 episodes of The Office.
I hate The Office.
It was funny.
Hate it. It's not funny at all to me.
No, there were some funny scenes. Ray, you think it's funny? Funny
Oh
show?
yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's on my hate list. My top 3 hate list.
What are the other 2?
Well, Ray Romano.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody loves
I'm not a
Raymond.
fan of that show.
And maybe the show that you love.
No, King of Queens is an
King
excellent
of Queens
show.
is another one that I put on that list.
No, it's a violation.
Let's go to JR in South Philly. JR, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. JR.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's up, JR? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Hey, I agree with you on
Oh no!
The first one.
No, you can't be serious.
The first one. Let's hear the reasoning, JR.
I think they should do away with the tush push, man, and just go back to the old-fashioned quarterback sneak,
And guess what? The Eagles would have the advantage on that. And
but
it's more of a football
but at least
play.
they wouldn't complain as much as they do.
Well, that's
now.
what I mean. It's a football play. Yeah, my quarterback's stronger than yours. We're gonna sneak it right up your keister. Boom, you do it.
Also, Bill, I hated your comparison examples, the back shoulder throw and all of that. Come on,
No,
man.
my point was to try to show Mike that his argument was to say a play is unstoppable, so it should be banned. That's my point.
I get it.
But wait, JR, you haven't given me a reason. Why should it be banned? You said they should go back to the QB sneak, but for what reason? What don't you like about it?
Hey, I have a reason that I don't think you guys touched on today yet. Sports betting, for one. For me, it killed me a lot because I was betting on Saquon to score a couple times. And
So you're biased now.
Once they get down there, you already know.
So that's why you don't like the tush push. You want to give it to Saquon. I got you.
Yeah, and we're at the 50-yard line, and he runs 49 yards. Come on, man.
Yeah. I hear you. All right, man. General knowledge question for you, right?
All right.
All right, JR, we're in the NBA three-point shooting contest category.
Okay.
In 2010, this man won the three-point shooting contest from the Boston Celtics.
The Boston Celtics. 2010. I don't know. I would have to say Jason Terry.
Ooh, Jason Terry's a good guess, but it was the most obvious
Ray
one.
Allen, right?
No.
Oh, it's not Allen.
Paul
It was Ray Allen?
No,
it was Paul Pierce. I thought it was Ray Allen.
I don't think Ray Allen was with the Celtics in 2010.
When was he with them?
He was with them in their championship series, which was...
No, I thought he was still there.
Was he still there in 2010?
Yeah, because after 11 he makes the jump?
He was there from 7 to 12.
He's there
07 to 12.
Okay, so
in 12 to hit the shot
he
for the
didn't
Heat.
participate that year.
And he won it. Wow, Ray Allen hasn't won a three-point contest since 01 was the last time he won one. I would have thought it would have been more recent than that.
He never won as a Celtic.
Ray?
I love Boston.
Your question is the following. This man won it 2 straight years, in 2002, 2003, for the Sacramento Kings.
Peja Stojakovic?
Yes, sir. Peja.
Commanding
He
lead.
nailed it.
6-4, Ray's up.
Oh, Ray has come from behind to take a 2-point lead.
I know we usually then still give away the tickets. I think Ray and I should go to the game if you win, Ray. I don't think we should give them to the audience today.
Bill,
Too good of a ticket.
I would love to go with you. I don't want this to come across as the Ray hates Bill thing. I actually legitimately have plans Saturday night, so I don't want to get your hopes up.
Ray already had tickets for the game.
Wait, hold on. You have plans?
Not like that.
No,
Who's the lucky lady?
Not like that, please.
Oh, we'll get to it on the other side.
I don't do weekend dates. Come on.
Ray already had tickets for the game. They were in the 300 level.
Well, these probably are too. But I wonder.
No, man, there's no 300 level.
Who do you think the lucky lady is that Ray has plans with on Saturday night?
I told you I do weekend dates. We got to hit a break. Come on.
See, Ray's already uncomfortable. Is this a new date?
This is not a date. I'm telling you, I don't do dates on weekends, so it wouldn't be a Saturday night.
Is she listening?
Why don't you do dates on weekends?
Because I could go out on the weekend. I don't go out on weeknights, so I might as well do a date on a weeknight.
Wow, he doesn't want to waste his weekends on a young lady. How about it?
Well, if it goes poorly, then that's all night that's going down the tube.
Ray Dunn's like, I'm not wasting my Saturday night.
I can only have to spend a couple hours with her during the week. 610.
That's not the reasoning right there at all. I'm not going out on a Monday. I'll go out on a date on a Monday because I don't have anything going on. There's a good chance I got plans Friday or Saturday night.
What do you mean plans? Plans should
I got friends, people to see, places to be.
Take a date out on a weekend. Screw your friends for one weekend.
I don't want to do that.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sixers win.
One Mike Missanelli show. Oh, we got it coming down the home stretch. The people want the tickets. We had a lot of calls on hold here. So we're going to get to them all here on
Rapid
General
fire
Knowledge Wednesday. Ray 6, audience 4. Tie goes to the audience, of course.
Yeah, just get to see Steph Curry,
Golden State Warriors. Well, I tell you what, I had forgotten about the details of that gold medal game, or even the Croatia game. How the Team USA had to rely on him.
Curry's a beast.
And then Embiid had some good moments.
He did.
Actually.
Not in the gold medal game as much, I don't remember, right?
Yeah, he did.
Was it the gold medal game?
Semi-final game was the one he had the big
Yeah,
moment.
he had a couple baskets, big baskets in that game. Kevin Durant with monster jumper as well. That was fun. The way they did that was fun. I felt sorry for Bogdanovic, who played his heart out for the Croatians.
Wait, was he? I thought he was Serbian, no?
Or yes, yeah. Well, Serbia. I'm sorry, not Croatia. That's the wrong thing to say. Serbia. All right, let's go to Sean in Newark. Sean, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Sean?
Hey, how you doing, Mike? Let
What's
me
up,
get
buddy?
off speaker.
How you doing?
I think you're right, by the way. Croatia.
There it is. I was just
Is it
trying to get
Croatia?
off speaker.
Yeah. Croatia.
Yeah. I wanted to chime in. I'm
Serbia.
kind of on the side of all your younger co-hosts. From my standpoint, Mike's main argument is just his opening statement that it's 700 pounds of torque and they have the advantage of knowing the snap count.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be all the evidence, is you saying that a lot, and then your closing statement is, so therefore it's an unstoppable play, because how many times do I have to tell you it's 700 pounds of torque and they have an advantage of knowing the snap count? But when you actually look at the evidence, there really is no evidence. The evidence is on the side of all your younger cohorts. The Eagles succeeded at that 85% of the time. Regular quarterback sneaks succeed 85% of the time. Other teams doing the tush push, it was down in the 70s. When you look at quarterback sneaks in history, certain guys were really good at them. Certain teams, like Tom Brady's one of the all-time best. Drew Brees was great. Peyton Manning sucked at it, and he's one of the worst. When you look at the Eagles, yeah, they have all that size and the biggest line in the NFL, and they got the quarterback with the strongest legs, and they got the running back who can power, and they got the tight end. So it looks intimidating, and that's why everybody,
Yeah,
makes
but
such a fuss.
here's the thing: a quarterback sneak is a legitimate football play. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, it is. Why is it illegitimate?
Because you're pushing a guy. You're pushing a guy forward. That's why it's not legitimate.
Yeah, that's right. Great play. Great play.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, why are you saying it's illegitimate? That's your opinion. You're saying it like that's a fact.
Oh, dude, that's what I do here.
Hey,
all right, I give opinions as strongly as they're facts. I mean, this is sports talk radio, Sean. You don't have to get mad at. You have to get mad at it. You like the tush push. You like the tush push because the Eagles do it well.
No,
just say it.
No, let me say it. First off, I respect your opinion. I was only correcting it because you were saying it like it was a fact, and I'm saying no, that's your opinion, and I do respect you have a differing opinion. The other thing I'd like to say is...
Well, hold it. Time out. The fact is that the physics is a fact. Is it not?
Yeah, but you haven't presented
yes, I did. Physics is a fact. 700 pounds of torque is when it's starting.
That's fairy tales. That's fairy tales and leprechauns. That's just you saying things. There's no evidence.
The evidence was given. I tell you what you do. Here's what you do. You should Google Neil deGrasse Tyson, the physicist.
No, you should just Google evidence on the quarterback sneak and the tush push. That's what you need to do. You're not doing your job. You're just talking crap. And then you say it so many times, you think if you just keep saying...
Sean, there's an astro.
About that.
Sean, there's an.
What can you not understand about 700 pounds of torque and they notice that count? That makes it unstoppable. How many times do I have to say that? Why can't you understand that, Mike? It's 700 pounds
Sean,
of torque
are you? Sean, are you demented? Like what? Like, give me a chance. Give me a chance to freaking talk, for crying out loud. All right, I got enough.
I
had enough. Enough.
Sean's going
off.
off.
These astrophysicists proved why it's an advantage physics-wise.
Yes,
and that's a fact.
All right, listen.
And when this guy get offended because I got a different opinion, shut the hell up.
Listen.
No, don't listen.
No,
you're going to the next guy.
Quick,
Adam in Orlando. Adam, you're on 97.
This is why Sean was upset. This is why Sean was upset.
We got general knowledge here, right?
All
relax.
Right.
Go ahead, Adam.
Jeez, God, relax, dude.
Get him, Adam.
Oh my God. No, seriously. How can you ban that play? It's like banning the shift in MLB baseball. It's stupid. You can't ban it. It's football. It's Princeton Harvard. How can you make that argument? Were you for the shift in baseball being banned?
No.
No. So how can you make the same argument that this needs to be banned?
Because this is an unfair advantage when you have 700 pounds of torque pushing you. That's why. There's no unfair advantage when you have the shift, because if guys hit it the other way, it's an automatic hit.
But you have to learn to hit it the other way, right?
Well, what's that, like brain surgery?
Yeah, you still have to learn how to
stop it's not that difficult. Believe me when I tell you.
It's not that difficult.
No, it's not that difficult. People do it because they're in habits and they want to slug all the time.
Exactly. So why can't people learn how to stop the shift? They can do it just as easy. They have millions of dollars.
It is less likely to stop the shift than the shift working, which to me makes it an unfair play. And that is proven by science. So, that's what I'm saying. Now, I know you'd like it because the Eagles do it well. I get it. Every caller who's come at me today, it's like I'm taking their candy away from their beloved team. I get why you like. I get why you like it, Adam. I get why you like it.
Out of here. That's crazy.
Oh, what are you talking about? Hold on a second. If the Dallas Cowboys were doing it, and they wanted to take it away, you'd be the first one in line to ban it.
No.
Oh,
You're
yes.
a baseball purist, right? You like everything baseball how it was back in.
No, I'm not really a purist because I like robo umps. I like the Ghost Runner.
Perfect how it is. Leave it alone. You don't need to start shoving.
Except Adam, before this was a banned play. Okay, so don't give me it's football. Yes, it was, Adam.
Well, it was a banned play for a certain amount of time.
Okay, but it was a banned play. Chuck in Havertown, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Chuck.
Hey, how's everybody?
What's up, Chuck? How you doing?
How you doing? Good, beautiful day. So, as you were saying earlier, it was banned earlier, or it's always been banned. Why? And when they started doing the Eagles, I was like, this can't be right. But why isn't it? If it was banned earlier, why is it?
I don't know why they brought it back, but your first instinct was my first instinct. It can't be right.
Yeah, but
right, and so my instincts have stayed that way. I haven't flopped because it gives an advantage to my hometown team.
Yeah, I mean, since they started doing it, of course, go Birds.
Well, and that's what everybody's motive is, and it's coming at me today. And I get it, but just admit it. Come on.
Well, I just think, I just say why. Why is it now being banned if it was always banned anyway?
Because somebody put a proposal out there that it's not a fair play. So we'll see. If they vote on it, chances are it'll stay. So you'll get your. But see, the Eagles still have an advantage when they run a quarterback sneak, which is a football play.
Mike, I'm objective. Of course, I'm an Eagles fan.
Right.
But I am objective to say, and this doesn't look right. However, the caller mentioned earlier. You're always taught to push the pile. I mean, I don't know.
We're taught to push the pile how? Like mano a mano when you're trying to block the guy in front of you. That's how you're pushing a pile.
Yeah.
All right, man. You ready for your general knowledge question?
Sure.
During what phase of sleep do most dreams happen?
REM.
Correctamundo.
You know what REM stands for?
Rapid eye movement.
There you go.
Ray? What John Lennon song invites listeners to conceive of a world with no religion or no possessions?
Ooh, I can hear it in my head. Imagine.
Oh, Ray locked it up.
Well done, Ray.
Ray disposed of people. We got one.
That Beatles class came in handy on that one.
Oh, we got two left. We got Joe in the Northeast. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Hey, Mike, Bill, Ray, how y'all doing?
What's up, Joe?
So, I'll make this real quick for you. I know you are on the clock. I'm going to go back real quick to what Sean McDermott said. And then from what he said, he has James Cook as his running back, right? So if they run a draw play on the 5-yard line, James Cook gets stuck at the 3. His offensive line shoves him into the end zone. What's the difference?
That shouldn't be allowed either.
Yeah, it should.
I don't believe that should be allowed either. So I'm across the board consistent.
Right. I would be okay
because you're then not rewarding the defense that made the stop.
Right. So I'd be okay with them banning the tush push if they ban that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think either is a football play. A defensive linebacker stops a guy, and because you torque him with 700 pounds behind him, you push the pile, and he gets the first down.
Only an individual linebacker? What if there's two of them stopping the guy?
Two guys is fine.
All right, so no one else should be able to come up and push the pile. But the defense should have as many guys as they want pushing back.
Yes.
Okay. That's not football.
Yeah.
That's not football.
Totally football.
When you say a tush push is not a football play. So 4 guys can be on your running back, but no one else is allowed to touch the pile. Only the defensive players are allowed to touch the pile.
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
There's only be one or two. In this, it's concentration where you know the snap count, and it's not a play that's in motion already. It's different. All right, general knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. But we're at the movie characters. Hey, how you know your movie characters pretty well?
Oh, of course.
All right, let's go with this one here. Let's go with, oh boy, George Stone. George Stone. Kevin Costner is in this movie. George Stone. I'll tell you who else is in this movie. Sean Connery. Sean Connery and Kevin Costner are in this movie. George Stone is the character. What's the movie?
Untouchables.
That is correct.
Wow.
The Untouchables.
Still not going to be enough.
Well, it isn't. But if Ray gets this wrong, I'll get to point to the audience.
We're going to take something
Not
away.
how this works.
It's because I didn't know you saw The Office.
You got to go movies, I think.
All right, let's go with this one here. No, I'm giving them TV. I've been consistent giving them TV. All right, Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper. You talk about the Big Bang Theory over here?
Oh my God!
You're giving him too modern of one.
I am.
Come on.
Now, I've never seen that show. My in-laws think it's an amazing show. Have you ever watched it?
No,
me either. But a lot of people love that
well,
show.
in any event, since we're soft here, we're giving the 2 tickets away. What's the man that gets them? What's his name? John Norwood?
John from Norwood.
Oh, it's John from Norwood.
Yes.
Was that the guy that got in my ass? We should have given it to him.
A lot of people
No,
got
that was Sean. That was Sean.
Oh, should have given it to Sean. Yeah, congratulations, John from Norwood. He gets the tickets. The Sixers against the Golden State Warriors. When is that game?
Saturday.
Saturday night.
But I got to say, you were extra insufferable today. Ray, do you agree on this? Wasn't Mike extra today?
Well, because my opinion was different than yours?
Because you kept going back to it's physics.
Well, it is.
You could make that argument about anything in football. When a bigger man, what did Chip Kelly used to say? Bigger people move smaller people. That's physics. Just to say it's physics about the tush push doesn't make me want it banned.
Weren't you the one that earlier said, this is so funny because if the Cowboys were doing it, we'd be screaming?
No doubt. No doubt I think a lot of Eagles fans would be losing their mind. But I still think that it's not a football play argument. It's not a real argument.
Because you're an Eagle fan.
I'm a football guy.
Thanks for being an Eagle fan.
What are we doing tomorrow? Anything good?
No, I'm taking off. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for playing General Knowledge Wednesday. It was fun. Right? Congratulations for another visit.
Thank you. Big day for me.
Everybody have a great rest of the night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.